in their life. But when you add on top of that some of the stressors for first responders, whether it's military, police, paramedics, whoever it is, there's extra stress.
The unfortunate thing is that that has a cumulative effect over the years. It's almost like wearing a backpack and every time you go out on a call, you put another item in that pack until that pack gets too heavy.
And we're not really good for asking for help, so a lot of paramedics struggle with even saying, hey, I need help, or, you know, I'm in a time of need. We never see ourselves as the one that's going to be the patient.
With the uniform comes a lot of pride. Thinking that I can deal with situations or problems on my own and not wanting to seek help.
Seeing that commitment from these young men and women who give each and every day just drives me to see that they get the tools, they get the support that they need.
You know, the more you think about it, it was a chance for the whole family to be together for that whole week or 2 week period they were here and mourn together and kind of just be as a family.
Anything that reduces the level of stress for the soldier or the soldier's family is greatly appreciated.
What would you say to somebody who came up to you and said, how do I give back to first responders? How do I give back to the military?
My God, how did people give back?
Yeah, a lot of people actually ask, you know, I wish I could do something for you, or I wish we could, you know, can I get you a coffee or something? But we never have time for that coffee.
Sometimes people don't even know who the first responders were that helped them in that time of need.
You know, from what I've been through, I can tell that I've changed a little bit.
It's very much appreciated, certainly for some of my personnel that have had the ability to utilize Honor House.
The sponsors, the volunteers, the people who put this together, we can't thank them enough for the tremendous service they have provided for our men and women in uniform.
Organizations like Honor House give me a sense of comfort that the Canadian population does care.
We're a charitable and nonprofit society, and we really rely on donations. We rely on fundraising to keep this house open and free.
We come in very quick and we're gone very quick. So I think Honor House is really a way that the community can adopt their first responders and say thank you, and we appreciate what you do, and we're here for you when you need help.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for night number 2. Couldn't even run the whole intro here, boys. We're in a hurry, ready to get things rolling. Heat race number 1 for the big block modifieds. And, well, are you guys looking at my screen? Because we're going to share this grid like we did last night. But I do things a little differently than Marty. I start in the back here. We're going to roll backwards to forwards here. Row 6. Rounding out the field to the outside, the mare in the 75, Steve Bixler, to the inside, the 33 of John Morano. Robbie, what's up?
Row number 5, starting in the 10th position, it's Brian Moore Sr., and alongside him, rolling off in 9th, is Justin Lansing.
You got it, Dino?
Well, the lineup is definitely different on the track than what you guys are reading off.
Okay.
Because I got Brian Moore on the pole and Harold Klump outside. This is 358s. 358 B main 1.
Yeah, this is that's what iRacing's giving me. I can't custom that. Yeah, why does it say that? Why is it telling us that? Because
let's roll from the sim.
Let's read it off there, off that side here. We'll cheat. We'll pull up this iRacing one. I don't want to lie to you. Let's see here. Just one more time. Grid, right? There we go. Okay. Why didn't it want to do that right the first time? Got to do this real quick here. I don't mean to share the spotlight, but we'll do this.
Go right ahead, Shaggy. Go right ahead, my friend.
Row 6, Dylan Kinsey to the outside, to the inside, Kevin Moran. Row 5, to the top shelf, Ted York to the inside, Glenn Sharp. Row 4, to the outside, Peter Bryce. To the inside, Justin Lansing. Row 3, to the outside, John Morano. To the inside, the mayor, Steve Bixler. Row 2, to the outside, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. To the inside, Earl Jackson. Row number 1, Harold Klump to the outside, to the inside, Yo 55 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. The green flag's high, boys. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. Or B main number 1, excuse me, man.
Yep,
here I am full of the flutters,
That's all right.
But looky, Brian
Oh,
Moore,
we already
he got
got
contact
Kinsey
in the back.
Yep.
Yeah, Dylan Kinsey, that left front doesn't look too healthy. Glenn Sharp out of it. John Morano around as well, but yellow flag gonna fly
Rough
here.
start there, boys. Rough start for those guys at the back. And by the way, just a quick rundown here. The B-mains tonight, 20 laps in distance. Top 3 to the big dance. Everyone else to the last chance, which will come up tomorrow night. So a lot of cars for very few spots here this evening. But let's take a look at what happened. Bring out caution number 1, guys.
Yep, got the inside wall and shot across and got Dylan Kinsey.
Yeah, exactly what
a couple
happened.
times last night too, guys. That very troublesome spot here on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, Dino, you guys come here a lot. What is it? Is it just the awkwardness? It's supposed to be an asphalt track. It's just kind of filled in. I mean, it's definitely not the smooth kind of circular we're used to.
No, and that's exactly why. And it happens in real life too, Shaggy, is that because this is an old track. Oswego was built before me, you, and Robert put together, and I'm old. And when we lay down the inside guardrail with the clay, the barriers, with the concrete, it's not even. So during the events, you see a high amount of flat tires, left front flat tires, because the wall is just not even. There's no even apex. So when you come at a 2, you actually want a Dynan coming at a 2 to get your best run, and that wall sticks out.
Now,
at
if,
a 2 is what fights you.
I mean, obviously, long way to go here, but what's going through your mind here, Rob? You're Jeff Barker. You're on the outside looking in there, P4. Do we need a long green flag run, or do you like maybe these cautions keeping those guys jumping in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't mind the cautions if you're able to gain a spot or 2 each and every run that we get, but if it's consistently caution after caution after caution, you're not advancing at all, you definitely want to get those long runs in and see what you can do. As the pace truck is off, we're going to get set to go green once again. Moore and Klump still on the front row here, Shaggy, as we come through 3 and 4. Going to be coming back to the green flag this time.
Yeah, and I mean, we're getting to the point, obviously, guys, you need to be patient, but we need to go, too, while they're stacked up. We're back underway. 16 to play here. Am I seeing that right, Dino? Are caution laps counting tonight?
No, I got lap 2.
Oh, okay. All right, that'll be another SDK thing here. It'll probably reset for us. Yeah, whenever it goes by. But I was wondering, I was going to say, count cautions here.
Almost Bixler got in the thing.
Bixler working that outside here. Got Bryce on the inside in that 74. He's trying to work it up, but I think we got a battle here heating up for the lead. Look at Harold Klump trying to take a peek on the inside. Now he opened the door.
A really nice job up here. Yeah, he's opened the door to Earl Jackson down on the inside. Jackson, very strong last night. He's looking for the top spot, though, looking to the inside of Brian Moore Sr. as they head down the front straightaway here. Actually, the back straightaway, I should say. Jackson going to slide up a little bit, opens the door for Klump. Moore up to the high side. Jackson and Klump leaning on each other here. This is getting very tight. Your top 3 all under a blanket. Jeff Barker right there hanging on the outside looking in, but in a really strong spot to pounce should one of these guys make a mistake, slip up just a little bit. Barker's going to be there to take it.
Yeah,
Klump on Shaggy Harold in that last qualifying spot where he was twice yesterday. I don't know if he can take all this drama.
Yeah, and I hate to be that guy, guys, but we remember what happened when he was in that last transfer spot. Something can kind of sneak up and happen to you. Jeff Barker's really hoping for it. He's driving that thing, trying to send it on the outside. And you think maybe, him working that outside, I think that may end up working, especially if Harold, well, now he goes to the center. If he keeps working that inside, cutting his momentum, Jeff Barker's going to have a chance.
And one thing we saw last night was the high lane really came in around the halfway point, and so far in this B main, the high lane has already come into play. We have multiple cars working the high groove, getting it to work for them. Moore has done a nice job leading the way. We go back to Breeze, battling it out with Kinsey here. That's your battle for the 5th spot as they're side by side for the lead as well. Jackson put the nose in there. We'll see if he's able to take the lead this time as they're side by side for the top spot. Advantage goes to Moore with just 8 laps in, 12 laps to go.
Yeah, it seems like, it's so appetizing down there on the bottom, especially that entry to 3, but guys just have to bind it up when they're not able to float up. And you see now immediately Jackson able to go to that top shelf where he's comfortable. But now this is where he's working it a little different. You see Rob going to work that diamond line. Can he go for a big send here? Can he clear? Not enough. He's going to have to get on the binder.
And you don't necessarily want to go for the big send here early on. You still have more than half of the race to go as, once again, Jackson with a big jump down to the inside. Moore still working the high lane. Looks like advantage this time. Going to go to Earl Jackson as he's going to go for the big juicy slider up to the high side. Goes Jackson. Down to the bottom is Moore. Side by side, they swap positions once again as Moore goes to the top spot. Cross flags were in the air that time by Jeff Barker, by the way, folks, has gotten by Harold Klump. Klump back to 4th. Barker to the final transfer spot as they continue to battle it out for the top.
Yeah, Barker snuck by there for that final transfer spot. But, man, these guys duking it out here. Advantage Jackson right now. I think he realized, kind of what you're talking about, Rob. Maybe you don't want to make that move so heavy in 1 and 2. You can see the way Brian arced down and cut it off. But now he's committed to this bottom. And I just don't know if that's going to work either. I mean, what's the right mix here, Dino?
Well, I tell you, the interesting, I think, because they had 15 minutes of practice to warm up, which is different than the 10 minutes of practice. I think that's why the outside is coming in early. But the interesting thing is you watch these top 4, look at the threesome that's behind them. Breeze, Lansing, and Kinsey. Talk about wanting a yellow to come out. Those are 3 guys that definitely do, because I think they're gaining on the top 4.
Yeah, that they really needed to come out now, not to be that guy. But, I mean, if you get it with a couple laps to go, how are you going to get by all them guys and work yourself in? I'll tell you one guy, though, you can see he was able to get into that final transfer spot you mentioned, Rob. Well, look, he's put the pressure on Mr. Wednesday Night here trying to make a move for P2.
Yeah, and you could see that Moore's starting to feel that pressure just a little bit. He's sending the car up deeper than he would in previous goes. He's got himself really tight right now with Barker squeezing down to the inside. Barker had to grab those binders, and that allowed Klump to take another peek at these guys. Get back into that fight. Put him in a position that maybe he can get there and grab one of those final transfer spots as we come to 4 to go this time. Earl Jackson, Brian Moore, Jeff Barker in those transfer positions. Harold Klump on the outside with Peter Breeze and Justin Lansing right there as well. And you mentioned the potential for a caution. If we get one, I think you have to watch Lansing. He's been able to make every lane work here so far, and he's looking real solid, just unfortunately a little bit too far back.
Yeah, you mentioned Breeze being one of the guys, Dino, too. He's pulling these guys in. I mean, could we see Harold Klump make a big move here? Maybe sucker him in to that 3rd and final transfer spot. We're running out of time, though, but Barker making it stick on the bottom, boys. It looks like he's going to have it going down the backstretch. He does.
Well, interesting about Breeze, he messaged me today. He has an iRace since last year's Super Dirt Week. So you want to talk about getting some rust off, but you know how good Peter Breeze can be because he's got wins in coast to coast.
Yes, he does. And I'll tell you what.
Look at him.
Man, Harold Klump, here it is talking about him, Dino. He's trying to get back into that transfer spot. Doesn't want to be the odd man out here, but we're running out of time, guys.
1 to go.
White flag in the air, 1 to go.
Yeah, Klump down on the inside, taking a look here on Moore. Here comes Breeze. Contact with Moore as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Jackson leads through 3 and 4. Breeze, unfortunately, not quite close enough.
It is race for last spot.
Flag for Jackson. Moore gonna get the spot by inches over Harold Klump as Klump goes for one final send. Just comes up a little bit too short, but that'll set himself up well for one of the last chance qualifying starting spots tomorrow.
Man,
Harold
a
Klump,
finish.
I tell ya. Harold Klump has not had a Super Dirt week he wants to remember, but he's going to be on the pole for the it's going to be a 15-lap LCQ tomorrow. We're only taking the winner. So, hopefully Harold can get that tomorrow. But, man, you got to feel for Harold, Shaggy. You know how well he races and such a nice guy. But, man, his luck, I tell you, the last 2 nights have been just not quite there.
Yeah, that's a tough break for him, man. That's the odd man looking out 3 races in a row. That's got to be difficult. But, hey, Dino, what's the plan here? Because I know Jeff wants to roll stuff. We're going to interview everybody here. We hitting top just the winner?
I think we could do the winner because I know he's going to, when the session goes live, there's 10 minutes of warm-up. So if I don't know what he said in the driver's meeting there, if the winner is going to come on up. But if he does, let's bring him in.
All right, yeah, we'll hang around here. We've got it on that screen. We'll hang around, see what's going on. But Robert, man, it got physical there a little early. We got scared early caution, but man, they settled down and it looked good. We're in for a good night.
Well, Shaggy, I don't know if I'd call that settling down. They picked up the intensity there late in this one. Once we got to about halfway, the cross flags were displayed and all the chaos decided to come out. These guys put on one heck of a show. This is only the first B main of the night. We still have another one in the 358s, 2 in the big blocks, and a couple of pole scrambles here. And you know when we get to those pole scrambles, those guys are guaranteed top 6 starting spots. They're going to throw everything they have at it to try to gain every position they can get. And those guys like beating and banging out there too. So we're in for one heck of a good night here tonight. And we started it off strong here with Earl Jackson taking the W.
Well, that's a good run by Earl because if you remember yesterday, him and Grandy got together in the heat, and Earl was in a qualifying spot for that, and then he qualified very nicely in the big block. So even though we don't know too much about Earl, he looks like he's got a nice, smooth style, and it looks like he might be a guy to recommend. Recommend. That's the word, Dean. You want? He might be a guy to contend with these long distance races because it seems like he's got that nice, smooth style, and he shook off the bad luck from yesterday and put her in the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, we all three know. It's easy to talk and say, but truthfully, everyone out there listening, it does not matter where you start. This is 100 laps. Okay, we're gonna see guys.
I think Christopherson will tell you that he won't even try to go for the lead until 25 laps to go.
I wouldn't be surprised if Clay falls back to last at one point in time. To be truthful with you, going back there and just saving it. That's the type of guy he is. But it doesn't look like Earl's coming up, so we're probably not going to be interviewing the winners unless they decide to show up. So with that, here we'll swap up. We'll throw up that intermission video, and Dino, boys, let's see here. How am I going to do this? Because
he's not in any of the I was looking to see if he was any in the Discord rooms. He's not. So if he was, I was going to pull him up.
All right. Well, hey, stick around. We'll be right back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with Small Block Modified B Main Race 2. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A little more time this time. Sorry, we rushed that one there in the beginning, so we'll get to talk about it a little bit. But so far, we've got Earl Jackson, Mr. Wednesday Night. I couldn't even think of his name there. Brian Moore Sr. I'm so used to calling him Mr. Wednesday Night. And Jeff Barker. You're 3 into the show. 3 more going to make it here, Dino. And, man, this is... no shot there at B-Main number 1, but boy, I would not have wanted to pull my number here for B-Main number 2.
Yeah, we got Alex Pomerleau, who's won several races with Coast to Coast, and Ricky Main's more known for his sprint car accolades, but you know as well as I, anytime you get a good sprint car guy, he adapts real quick to the modifieds. He's here, and then Logan Wentz, who's the one that actually missed the 358 qualifying, and he had to start dead last in the heat, so he's been digging all Super Dirt Week, and now's his chance, hopefully, where he can put himself in the show.
Speaking of Ricky Main, let's see here. Try to do something.
Your gut punch, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out here. Let's see. Transition this over. We'll definitely get to see Rick. There we go.
There he is.
I was worried the iRacing part wouldn't show up. It was doing to me what it was doing to Marty last night, saying that load or wait for video capture. And this is all new, so I was like screaming there. But hey, it worked. Look at Ricky, man. Is that a Kyle Larson shirt? Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah, Kyle Larson sprint car shirt. It looks like it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, good on Ricky. He's going to be having some fun tonight. That's for sure. Hopefully, we'll get to maybe pull up that camera when he crosses the checkered flag first. We'll have to see. Don't want to, wish him any bad luck, but we'll see what happens. Normally, Dino will tell you, if I talk good about you, you end up wrecking a couple laps later. So I'm normally sketchy on wishing guys good luck. So we'll see what happens.
You can Ricky definitely is using triples, because remember, he did mention that his center screen went black. I don't know if you know that. But when he got in that deal where his car pushed across the track and Scotty Riome got caught up, he said his center screen went black for a second on his triples, and he just didn't know where he was. And, so sometimes, we've all had our screens freeze or go black or whatever, but they always seem to do it the wrong time. They don't do it when you're pacing or when you're watching or anything like that. They always do that when you're entering the corner at 98 miles an hour to speak of.
Now, do you know, I put this camera on specifically on purpose, okay? Now, Robbie, you can see there in 3 and 4. Now, of course, it's going to go to the high side. Dang you, Rick. I want you to run the bottom. But it is unbelievable how close they will get to this inside wall. Nope. Yep. Now he's going to stay up top. Of course you are, Rick.
He knew you were going to watch this and decided, no, I'm not going to give him anything to work with. But, one thing I've noticed as well is how much he's working the steering wheel. We saw it in his driver cam video. He was sawing on that wheel, and just imagine a 75-lap feature race having to do that. You're going to be exhausted by the end.
Oh, and then count all the bumps that this track has. I understand that because
now he goes back to the inside. I hate you, Ricky.
But it's interesting that even though you're on the bottom and you're sawing on the wheel, the main reason why is because look at that camera angle. You can see how uneven that inside wall is. So you're sawing on the wheel just to keep your car in that tack against the wall. But sometimes you actually got to turn right to go left to get around that wall.
That's pretty wild to see.
Blake, he made these shows. That was specifically a Blake Chapman camera. I was hoping I was gonna get him on one of these.
Hey, they'll be down there as well. Matt Barber, they all like running that lane. Dino can't. Dino tried. I got yelled at by Clay during the volunteers yesterday, saying, "You're holding me up. You're holding me up." So I went to the top. I had, he was yelling at me at Discord. He goes, "Will you get the F out of my way?" And so that's why I went to the top of the volunteers, because I'm already locked in. I had nothing to gain, so I said, you know what? Let me go up and run the top and learn a little bit. And then, of course, Clay just went pup, right by me.
I never understood the way those guys can work that brake pedal here as we ride along with Dylan Slider. He's trying to work one under Rick Main. He let Rick go by him. Rick going to shut that door here. But that's his, Dean, do you agree this is the time where you really get to go see other drivers' tendencies is now they're going to pull off here we're probably going to get ready to go. But you got to use that time to race around those guys and, just kind of see what line they're running.
Yeah, and I'm, you know me, Shaggy. I always go to the top anyways. I mean, that's where I feel comfortable. And when Oswego's racing gets going, usually around lap 20, 25, the top starts building up. And then if you look, the 79 is going to be up around there. And that's just my lane. I just don't have the patience. I can't trail brake the way these guys can. And so I go up top. Interesting thing, Derek Anderson was in the session. He disconnected manually. He hasn't gone back in, so tough break for Derek.
Yeah, well, I guess how many were we supposed to have here? I think 12, right?
There was actually 15, but minus 4 that I knew weren't going to make it. So that's 11, and then it looks like we have 9 in the server, but it looks like 8's going to run the race.
Yeah, I can't, I doubt he's out there watching, Dino, but man, oh man, not having Isaac Salas at a super dirt week. Kelsey, boy, oh boy, she must treat him good.
Kelsey. It was even Kelsey. Isaac's got a softball league on Tuesday and a golf league on Wednesday, and I said, you do know you can get a sub for both of them. So he made a mention that he thought he might get home in time to run big blocks, but, we didn't see him last night, so... so we're going to have a new winner this year. A new winner in the last 2 years because Isaac swept the last 2 years. And, you want to beat the best. So you want Isaac here. You want to beat him. But, hey, there's going to be a great champion tomorrow for 358s and big blocks with this field that we have.
Yeah, there is. Check it out. Checkered flag waving. We're going to get ready to take a look here at the starting lineup for B main number 2. Should have 8 guys here, I think.
Yeah, it's going to grid here in order. So
there we go.
Anderson was supposed to start 8, so we're okay because Justin Towers will just be in a row by himself. Or actually, Justin can move up. Yep.
Yeah, why? What is going on here with my SDK? Why do I keep getting old grids? What is happening?
It's not being very friendly to you.
Dude, no, it is not. Like, how do you even do that? There we go. Like, it had 16 or 15 guys listed. Now it goes down to 9.
Well, 15 were listed in the pre-grid, so maybe SDK's pulling that up.
Yeah, well, it never does that any other time. Now it's trying to act real professional, and I'm not ready for it. Okay, so I'll do row 5 by myself here, Rob. You go next. Justin Towers in the 009 rounding out the field. Who we got?
In row number 4, slated to be Derek Anderson in the 017. Alongside him in the 21, John DeBias.
And then in the row number 3, we got Nolan Crowley starting 6th, and then Scott Zeneker, who had a real good time trial run yesterday, but just didn't have a good heat. He'll start 5th, hoping to redeem himself.
Row 2 to the outside, the 187 of Pretty Ricky. Rick Main to the inside, the 18 of Logan Wentz.
Your front row here in B main number 2. Both drivers hailing out of the Great White North of Canada. The 397 of Alex Pomerleau going to start on the outside of row number 1. And to his inside, the 71, it's Dylan Slitter.
Dylan was another one. Now, obviously, guys, you know me, Dino. I got some habits, not the best memory, but he had an unlucky battle there, I believe, in the heat. Was able to race his way back to almost the transfer. So it's going to be a guy you got to keep your eye on in that 71.
Yeah, and Dylan messaged me too. He said he's having a ball. A lot of guys are messaging me because they've never really been part of an event this big where you have 50-plus entries over 3 days, and it's really good to see those notes. And he's one of them, just like we talked about Justin Towers, who's starting last. He saw the broadcast yesterday. He knows he's got to start last. He goes, I got to be part of this.
The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. B main number 2 is underway for the 358 modifieds. Good jump there for Rick Main. Look at him trying to round up the cows there on the high side. Already up to that final transfer spot. Man, maybe looking for a little more. He gets the doors shut by the 71.
Robert, did you just sit round up the cows?
I believe he did. I believe he did. And that's a line I'll try to mix in this year. As we watch this battle for the lead, about to be 3 wide. They get back down to double file for the top spot. Parmelo inside, Slitter outside, contact, Main and Wentz. They gather it back up, but now they're about to look 3 wide for second, third, and fourth. The battle is intense here for this transfer spot. Justin Towers, the newcomer, into that fight as well. He slides up into position number 5, already up 4 positions. Watch this boy fly, and oh, contact, Main and Wentz come together. This is a big stack up. Caution's gonna come out here.
Or is it? No caution flag yet.
Wow.
Justin Towers comes out in P3. I don't know if he came out clean as a whistle, boys. That thing got beat up pretty bad, but if it stays green, he's got a big gap now to the 187, but it's not going to yellow flag fly.
Yeah,
Caution finally comes out.
Still on the track somewhere. Yeah, Logan got into Ricky Main going into turn 3, and then I think Ricky just said, well, sit for that, and he gave him a little nudge there going into 3 again. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's try to go to this. What do we call it these days? The Chapman Racing Drone, and that is not from me. Okay, I wish it was. That's named after the legendary Blake Chapman and his family. Nothing to do with me, but yeah, you can see Rick. He drives it in there pretty deep. Logan he's doing a good job of holding his line. Wasn't really ready for it, and man, big pile up from here, Rob.
Yeah, Towers took a pretty big hit there, nearly gets on his side, but I think Crowley getting into his left rear saved him just a bit, might have even saved him from bursting the engine with a little bit of head-on contact with the rest of these guys. But what a crazy stack up here in the top 5. It's already chaotic, and I think we expected that, seeing the grid for B-Main number 2. A lot of really, really solid cars out here, and it's tough to see any of these guys going home with how strong they were yesterday.
Well, I was wondering if any of these guys, because there's still 16 laps to go, if their cars are damaged, to go get a quick repair. And I see Logan Wentz did duck in here because they were staying out there. And I'm like, there's only 8 cars out here. If your car's got even a little bit of damage, I think you would want to go in and get it fixed. So Logan's going to do that.
I was especially thinking that, too, with I know Towers, he worked himself up here, doesn't want to give it all back up. But
yes,
he did it so quick. That I don't know if I'd want to drive around there with a wounded race car and risk those other guys getting me, but it seems like he's got the pace, so we'll see what he's got here. Robbie, I've blown a couple of these, man, so what do you say you recover the broadcast here, man? Give us a good call here to kick this thing off.
Well, let's see what we can do as we re-rack and restack the field. It's going to be Slitter and Pomerleau on the front row. Pomerleau low, Slitter up high as they work their way to the start-finish line. Green flag's out. We're back underway. B-Main number 2, and here comes Towers already. He's working his way up here. Bit of contact behind him. Looks like John DeBias going to get up to the rear end of the Towers machine. Here comes Ricky Mains looking to the inside. Main slides up. Nearly contact with Towers as they come off turn number 4. Slitter going to lead us here to 15 laps to go, 5 laps down.
Yeah, with the restarts, you have a choice of inside or outside lane, and Dylan, I think Shaggy is the first one that knows the outside. Remember how I said you always want the inside? Well, he just proved me wrong.
Yeah, and Ricky just did it on the inside there, got up into P3. What a move. A little bit of contact there in 1 and 2, but, man, I can't really blame Ricky for that. Doing a good job of holding his line on the bottom. Top shelf kind of just wants to diamond off the 2. So, just a product of the racetrack, and now Ricky finds himself back in that final transfer spot. But, boy, oh boy, I know he's a ways back there, but Logan Wentz, if he can get back to him, man, it could get interesting. Logan tried to make a move here in 43. Gonna slide up. Scott gonna let him in, and now maybe thinking about going back underneath, but that's one under the belt here. Logan's got a long way to go.
Yeah, long way to go in this one. We saw a couple good recovery drives last night. Logan Wentz looking for one of those. As big contact, Towers and DeBias into the outside wall. Justin Towers going to come to a slow. He'll get that car back underway, but a good run gone wrong for himself and John DeBias as they're going to fall to position 7 and 8 on the grid. Battles on for the lead as well, though, here, guys, as now Slitter looks to the inside of Pomerleau, side by side briefly for the top spot here. Advantage going to go to Slitter, but here comes Pomerleau powering back up top.
Yeah, taking advantage of all the commotion there, making a move for the lead. Slider, he's clear. Alex, though, doing a little do-si-do, cutting back underneath, side by side into 1. And man, Alex, he's got to try to float that thing up because that 71's going to have a big head of steam coming down the backstretch. Advantage 71 entering 3, but Alex coming with a slide job.
Well,
What a run.
Yeah, Robert, you know you want to win this, but as we were talking about, the main goal here is to get into the show. So hopefully these two guys, remember that and just get themselves into a show. I mean, we're enjoying this race, throwing bombs at each other, but hopefully they understand the big prize.
Yeah, but looky who's there in 4th place now, boys.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Hard. Look at that. Oh, look at it. Yeah, I told you. I can't talk about anybody, Rob. I got to be quiet.
I saw Bush come before. He must have went in the wall.
Oh, he went into the wall hard. Caution's out. Oh, no, and Towers piles into him here. Caution is out. Logan Wentz got himself back up to 4th, and then around he went. Justin Towers going to get collected in this one late as well, and caution number 2 out in B main number 2 with just about 7 laps to go.
Yeah, couldn't tell there, Dino, but it looked like he just hit a vicious bump there coming out of 4, kind of set the car up towards the wall, really tightened him up. I haven't done a lot of laps out here, but is that something you guys have found on the top there? Kind of a nasty bump?
Well, I don't know if it's really a bump or the way the turn 4, it cuts off sharp, and you want to put your right rear into that fluff coming out of 4 to get the bite, but sometimes when you get that right rear in the fluff, it actually grabs your car, and it'll make you have a severe push, and I think that's exactly what happened to Logan.
If you're Nolan Crowley, all of a sudden you're in the man on the outside looking in. How much life does this breathe into you, Dino? Do you maybe get aggressive? We know Rick Main's fast, but, man, it's not going to be easy to get around that 187. You're going to have to make him move.
Yeah, and what you want to do, though, is hopefully Nolan was studying the lanes that Ricky was doing there when he was running by himself, and then you just got to have a plan on this restart. So if he was running the top, you got to think he's going into the top. So the only way to get around the cars is to go where they ain't. So, Nolan hopefully was studying what Ricky was doing and then do the opposite going into 1.
Lights should go off here on the pace truck this time by. And
the single file restart since we got 8 laps to go.
There we go. Lights are off. And
yep.
Wait.
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
No, okay. I thought Dylan must not have heard the guy in his ear.
Yeah, I think he was just getting excited. Maybe wanted to get around on that top shelf. As we go down the backstretch here for the final time, Steve King Foundation pace truck pulls off the racing surface. The Canadian Alex Pomerleau's got another Canadian friend behind him, but you wouldn't know they're friends here by the way they're racing hard. Everybody wants to bring home the win here. Almost jumped by the 71 of Dylan, but we're back underway. Man, that caused a big commotion in the back of the pack. All sorts of stacking up here and able to get it straight, but man, not the start you need there if you're Logan Wentz trying to rebound.
Yeah, Dylan kind of shot himself in the foot there by trying to jump on the inside. Had to hit those binders back up a little bit on the inside there of Alex Pomerleau. And what was a side-by-side battle is now separated to about 0.3 of a second and really welcomed Ricky Main back into the fight. Main's working the high and middle lanes here, trying to get up there to Dylan Slider. And once he's able to get there, I think he's got a really good shot at getting up there and battling it out with Pomerleau, as you could put a blanket over this top 3 now. 15 down, 5 to go. Top 3 to the big dance. Everyone else to the last chance here as Pomerleau continues to lead down the backstretch.
Oh, Rick
thought of that just now. He rhymed and we didn't even know it.
Oh, man, look at Rick Main cut underneath there. He had to crack the throttle a little bit, but boy, man, he is heating it up. He doesn't want to be that last man looking in. You can see there top of the screen, I couldn't tell who that was. Is that John DeBias? It was. He went around, no caution. But he's in the back a ways now. I mean, he's going to need some big help here, boys. We're almost out of time.
Yeah, Pomerleau still leading the way, coming to 3 to go this time, but the battle is on for second. Dylan Slitter holding on to that spot. Ricky Main's taking a look down to the inside, about to be side by side down the backstretch. Main on the bottom, Slitter up in the wall. Slitter gonna fall back. That's maybe gonna open the door here for Crowley, unless he can find the gas pedal. Get back going here. Slitter able to do so as Popsicle sticks out of the freezer there in the air. 2 laps to go in B main number 2.
You know, I thought Dylan was trying to play it smart there, just let him go on by because he had the room, and now they made contact. Going down the backstretch in Nolan. Man, he is smiling. He's running out of time, though, boys. We're coming off a 4, white flag in the air. One more lap to go.
One lap to go. Here comes Nolan Crowley taking a look at the rear end of Slitter. Slitter goes to the bottom. Crowley looks high. Not quite able to get there that time as we head through 3 and 4 for the final time.
On that stretch.
Oh, man, Nolan not quite close enough. Checkered flag is out. Alex Pomerleau takes one for Canada and B Main number 2. Rick Main second. Dylan Slitter going to come home in third with Nolan Crowley, Logan Wentz, John Tobias, Justin Towers, Scott Zeneker, and Derek Anderson on the outside looking in. They're all going to have to go to the LCQ.
Yeah, an interesting tidbit that we haven't really thought of, but you notice Scott Zeneker and Justin Towers are both showing 5 laps down. Both cars disappeared. I think they hit the 12X limit.
Oh, that's a really good
that's
point.
Exactly what it was there, Dino. They both got disqualified for 12 incidents.
Yeah. Who would have thought that would be in a 20-lap race? But again, that's what makes a B main.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Logan Wentz and John Tobias were right there as well at 10 apiece. So we could have lost 4 cars just from incident points.
That's you're trying to earn your way in, right?
Absolutely.
Got to take the gloves off. Let's see if Alex Pomerleau is paying attention, if he's going to hop up here for an interview or not. I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't. Sometimes he hides in Discord, though. Maybe I see him down there. Nope. Hanging out by himself tonight. So it looks like he's got. Oh, we got Rick Main. You want to talk to Rick as well?
Oh, we got to talk to Ricky.
Yeah, have a chat with him.
Hang on. Let's do this the correct way.
I know what you're doing, and absolutely I agree.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, good. I thought he turned it off. Hey, Ricky, what's up, brother? Man, an exciting race, able to bring home P2, but man, you had your hand full there for a while.
Yeah, exciting's one word for it. I'm sure it was for you guys, but not so happy for me down here.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like, guys, you could try to get it done on the bottom, but you needed to float up coming off those corners, which we led to see. We saw a lot of contact. Is it just kind of product of the racetrack? Not a lot of guys out there, so, the track at that awkward stage, tough to pass?
Yeah, so guys just misjudging how much you got to woe up to kind of like make the bottom and not wanting to give it up. So, they'd miss it a little bit or they'd run you over, and then they're trying to cut down because you're getting a run under them. So it's just when it's bottom dominant for a little while, you're trying to protect, and there's just not a whole lot of room for error when you're down there. That's all.
Now, Ricky, you've done a lot of laps around here in a sprint car. Now, they're whole different animals. We could tweak with the wing and do that, and usually you could run the top a lot easier. But I notice when you're by yourself in clean air, it seems like you're doing a little bit of sprint car style into your car, throwing it in hard, going up top. Is it kind of a correlation between the two?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite tracks. You got to have the equipment to want to do it. But down in one, you can really send it over that cushion and get a crazy bite. And I love that line in a sprint car. Most guys won't run it. You can kind of do it in these later, but it's not quite there yet.
You got anything for him, Rob? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, but it's interesting you say that, Ricky, because I run sprint cars here with you, and I do try to go above that fluff in 1 and 2 later on in races. But you're right. Do you seem to think that might be aligned a little bit more with you got to run your big block yet? So you're hoping maybe that lane will come in for the big block?
No, because I start on the pole. I'm hoping it's just bottom dominant, but
my bad. I should have read that.
Speaking of which, are we? No, you guys are doing a pole.
No, we're doing pole scramble right now for 358s, and then we'll go big block B main one.
Well, I'm so glad you asked that question because I'm going to be honest with you. I thought we were running the other B main, so that wasn't a dumb question there, Rick. I'm the dummy.
I only posted the schedule up on Monday for everyone to see.
Yeah, come on, you know better than that. But hey,
yeah,
Rick,
but it's Wednesday now,
Yeah, exactly, dude. Hey, Rick.
A lot of time between.
Rick, man, I know you got one more to go, but congratulations on this one, man. Hopefully we're talking to you again later, brother. Congratulations on the good run.
Hey, thanks, boys. If I can not use my provisional, I'll be happy. That's my goal here, just to drive in, and I'm tickled pink after that.
Well, hey,
thank you for your sponsorship, Ricky.
Yeah, thank you, boys.
Yep, couldn't do it without guys like you, man. We appreciate it, Rick. Congrats.
Yep.
Dylan's actually in the waiting room.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I saw an S there. That was what I was.
Yep.
I was trying to draw 2 and 2 together. Let's pull him up here. Dylan Slider, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy, brother?
Dirty, brother.
Well, man, how we feeling? The third and final transfer spot, but boy, dude, you had your hands full. You and Ricky were going hard. I thought maybe you guys would calm down being in the transfer and all, but boy, man, you guys were battling.
No, you got to battle hard with these guys. They're top-notch competitors, coming from not running iRacing very much till beginning of this season.
Now,
Definitely got to try to beat them.
Thursday, obviously, dude, total different mentality here from tonight. 100 laps. I mean, how do we play that? Do you personally? I like, not trying to upplay coming through the B main, but I like starting in the back. Just letting the panic, everything happen out in front, and letting the race come to you. But how are you going to play that tomorrow?
I'm very impatient, so I'll say one thing, but it's going to be another. I'm going to try to take my time, just hang out for the first 50, save my stuff, and then hammer down for the last.
It's good to hear an iRacer actually admit that he's impatient. I say that all the time. My hardest thing is going to try to keep my tires underneath me.
Yeah, we ran 100 or 200 laps a couple months ago with the Drinking Dirt League, and you definitely got to keep your tires underneath you. I know it's just a simulator, but it's pretty realistic.
Daggy, that is a real league. I ran about 4 of their races, and it is called the Drinking Dirt League. And it's oh God, who runs it there?
It's a Shane Pierce League. It's a Canadian league. All us Igloo Livers, Penguin Chasers run it.
I invited Shane and Cody McPherson and a couple other guys, and that's where Dylan runs. And then I mentioned yesterday that Dylan came from the Murder Graphics League, which used to be in the BRP League, and that's how I met Dylan. And we extended an invite to him, and he accepted. And now we're glad you're in the show, brother.
Yeah, no, it feels good. Put both cars in the show for my team. It's nice.
Robert, any questions for a fellow Canadian?
Yeah, Dylan, obviously representing Canada here this week. What's your outlook for that big block race coming up tomorrow? I know you got to come from pretty deep in the field. Do you think you still have a shot to get up there and battle it out for the victory? What do you got to do to take home that trophy back up here to your igloo?
Well, it's a long 100 laps. I do start pretty deep, but I feel like patience is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, patience definitely going to be important, and you've already locked in, so you don't have to run a B main tonight, but is the plan to stick around, watch those races, maybe take a couple notes to throw towards that race tomorrow?
Probably. Either that or I should probably go to the garage and work on my real race car, because Saturday's coming up pretty quick, and it's been neglected.
Oh, get your priorities straight, will you? Come on.
My dad says the same thing to me. I got to get my priorities straight. I'm too busy playing video games and riding my Harley.
No. You're training.
Yeah.
That's what I tell him. I'm
this
training,
is a
but he laughs
simulation.
at me.
Yeah, simulation.
I don't know who laughs harder, my dad or my old lady, but they both get going on me pretty good.
Stand up for your rights, my friend. Stand up for your rights.
Well, hey, Dylan.
That's it.
Congratulations, man, on the good run. I know it's going to be a big hill to climb, but I'm telling you, I've seen plenty of these FTM guys do it. Save that right rear tire and watch out for fuel, because you guys are definitely going to have to save some fuel. But good luck Thursday, man. We're rooting for you.
Thanks, brother.
It's Dylan Slater punching his ticket. No Alex Pomerleau. The winners were shy tonight. I can't say I blame him, but
Alex's English is not the best either, so maybe he's just saying, you know what? I'll save all my good English for winning the race.
yeah, he might have some 4-letter words for me too. That may be why he stayed away. But hey, we're going to be right back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I believe, Dino, the 358 pole shuffle here, so we'll get to watch the top 6 drivers here race for their starting spots, and then we'll get to talk to a couple of them here. So stick around on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and I'm hearing rumors. Mr. Barker's giving us our drivers' meeting. You can see only 4 names on the list. We knew probably one wasn't going to come tonight, but Sam Bachman, who knows where he's at? He's probably out partying with all his friends. We've only got 4 here, so we were talking, and I'm not afraid to say it over the broadcast, guys. So I'll put us on the spot here. 4 guys. I better see some fireworks in this thing.
I have no doubts you're going to see fireworks. Everyone's going to be on top of each other right from the drop of the green flag. And, of course, this is only 10 laps. And like Dino pointed out to us, the worst you can start now in the A main is 4th. So why not just let it all hang out there and just checkers or wreckers, I guess.
Well, let's go with a little foreign relations. We have 2 Americans and 2 Canadians. Now the Canadians are on the front row and Americans are in the second row. So let's have a little battle here.
Now, do I have the correct lineup? Is Chad Lackey on the pole?
He is.
Thank God.
This is correct.
Actually, you can look at the 4 cars on the track, Shaggy. And just
I know, but hey, it just had to make sure everything was okay this time. All right. Row 2 out of 2 rows to the outside, the salesman, Blake Chapman to the inside, the 88 of William Bart Watson. Robbie, you got the front row.
On the front row, both drivers out of Canada, one with a terrible choice of hockey team. Trevor Giroux in the 075 starting on the outside pole with Chad Lackey out of Stittsville, Ontario, in car 91 rolling off in P1.
Well, we got Western Ontario, Eastern Ontario, Alabama, and Iowa. There's a mix.
It's a mix.
That freaking guy, I tried to give him heck about it when he was setting up cameras earlier, but he said he was going to make sure that Flyers flag was high and proud in the background.
The only thing I'll give him credit for is the jersey he has hanging on the wall is Claude Giroux, who's a Canadian, plays for the Ottawa Senators now, also shares a last name with him, so that's fine. But the flag can go.
And a member of the last great Flyers. Because the teams that he was on, actually, they were fairly decent at the time.
It's been a while, but absolutely.
See here, there we go. We got him here, getting ready to go. Let's I know we're not gonna get a full iRacing stream, but let's be honest, guys. This is for kind of fun. Let's watch Trevor here on the opening lap. Yeah, why not? Let's see. I wonder if he's a tongue out guy. I'm a tongue out the left side of my mouth guy. We're about to find out.
Biter.
Yeah, as the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. We've got 10 laps to play here in the Clay at Oswego Speedway. Trevor, cool and calm. It's crazy, these things, too. There you get to see the evidence. He's turning to the right. He's turning right to go straight. You heard it on the Cars movie. Well, now you get to see it in person. That's the way you do things.
I think it's interesting that he sits so tight. Yeah, exactly. He sits so tight on the wheel. Like, there's no room to play.
No, he is firm. I'll get him out of the spotlight now. I don't want to make him too nervous here.
He's one with the steering wheel, that's for sure.
Chad Lackey, man, he is walking away with this thing, boys. Not that I expected it to be closer, but I'm going to be honest, I did. 8 laps. I know Dino said you can use this to experiment a little bit, but we both know, man, you're teammates with him now. I was at one point in time. That 88 wants to win all the time, so he's going to go for it.
Well, here's a little tidbit. You know me, Shaggy. I run that 802 league on Tuesday nights that we had during the winter, and it's a fixed set 358s. Our finale was a 100-lapper here at Oswego, and Chad Lackey won it going away.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So that's, I mean, going away where guys like Clay and Sam are like, how is he still doing this 100 laps in and his tires are still this good? So he's got a secret here at this track.
You know, Blake.
Yeah,
or go ahead, Robbie. My bad.
Yeah, no, I was just going to point out the battle going on back here between Trevor Giroux and Blake Chapman. And one thing as well, Chad Lackey's pulled away by a second and a half over Watson, who's currently sitting in second. And these were the four of the fastest cars in single lap qualifying just one night ago. So to be able to have that much pace out of that 91 machine is pretty outstanding. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do tomorrow in that big feature race. But it's not all about the pace out the gates. It's what you have throughout the entire feature.
Dino, you know, I hate to bring it up again, but you mentioned that testing line. How much of that do we think Blake's doing right now? Because how often do we see him?
That.
Yeah, we never see him up there. I am shocked to see that kid up there.
And we know Blake is a sprint car specialist, but he does have wins in the modifieds. Blake is doing exactly what he's doing. He's doing different entries, different grooves. This is a complete test session for Blake.
Man, oh my God, 2 seconds. 2 seconds, Chad, man. You better save a little something. This is impressive. If he can do this at that kind of pace for 100 laps, that would be phenomenal. I don't know if he'd be able to support that, but man, I have a tough time thinking he wouldn't because, like I say, that 88, he likes to go, and this is impressive from the 91. We're coming out of 4 here, white flag about to fly, 1 lap to go, and Chad Lackey making it look easy, boys.
You know, I look back to last night. One of the biggest margins of victory we had was about 4 seconds for Mike Brewer over the rest of the field. I believe that came in the 358 modifieds. And at this pace right now, Chad Lackey would be about the same as he comes off of turn number 4. Going to be checkered flag for Chad Lackey. He's going to take the top spot. That'll be the pole in tomorrow night's 358 modified feature. William Watson comes home second. Trevor Giroux third, and Blake Chapman going to round out the top group here. So that will be your first 2 rows in tomorrow night's feature, leaving Sam Bachman and Joey Lasser on row number 3.
Well, all cars are coming on the front stretch. I heard Jeff told them, so hopefully they'll all come in the broadcast waiting room. And I'll keep a workout to see what Jeff is going to get the other session running, and then hopefully we can talk to these fast guys. Well, actually, one fast guy and everybody else. Did I say that?
Yeah, that's
you did, but it's pretty fitting.
No, it is fitting, and I mean, I know you tried to compare it, Robbie, to when Brewer won that heat race, but let's remember, he's racing against those guys that won, so this is all the more impressive. That's pretty crazy. I mean, he really threw it down. We'll have to see if the boys can answer the bell tomorrow night.
3 of them are already in. You want to go back to front there, Shaggy? We got Blake in already.
Yeah, let's do it. And see, that kid, he doesn't mess around. I mean, the salesman, he's
got to get his popcorn in. Come on.
It might help if I was in the Coast to Coast Discord. Right now I'm in your FTM Discord, seeing where Sam Bachman was. Let's pull Blake up here. Hey, kid, long time no speak, man. Only 4 cars tonight, but that's all the better. You know, you're going to start outside of row number 2. I saw you working hard on Trevor. I mean, I know you like that bottom. Was there any thought at maybe pressing the issue so you could start inside of row number 2 or, 3rd and 4th, kind of the same thing in a 100-lap race? How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same when you got that many laps, but, I was trying. I was really trying. It's just that bottom 1 and 2 was just too good. It didn't matter where I went 3 and 4. I got around him one time up high. I was door to door with him going into 1. Just, he was on the bottom and I had to go up top, and that bottom was just too quick for me to, recover from that and try to make a move. So, yeah, just, really happy to be starting up front. I've been starting in the back all season on Monday and Wednesday, so it's going to be different. It's going to be different starting towards the front here. So, yeah, definitely happy. Don't run these cars very often, so definitely pleased to be starting up front.
No, that being said, all of us were kind of talking, Blake. We know you like to run that bottom, but you're willing to go where you need to go. How much are you running that outside real tough tonight in 3 and 4? Is that kind of a test session for tomorrow night? Because I know that's probably not where you want to put that thing if you have the choice.
Yeah, no, yeah, like you said, I like to run that bottom, but yeah, just trying to figure out how to run the top here. I feel like I got a decent handle of it, especially in 3 and 4. There, just happy to get laps and competitive laps in here, whenever I can, since I haven't run these things in a while. But yeah, it's just gonna be all about getting in a rhythm, whether I'm running the top or the bottom or middle or wherever, and just staying out of trouble. That's gonna be the key.
Well, hey Blake, congratulations, man. Like you say, we know it's not the spot you want, but you know the deal, man. 100 laps, you're gonna need to save those tires, save a little bit of fuel, and if anybody's got the recipe for that, it's you, kid. So congratulations. Be looking forward to talking to you more tomorrow night. But for now, man, you know the drill, dude. We didn't get to hear about him last night.
I know, I know. I'm sure you guys were really upset about that, but
Well, I was.
I know you were, Dean. Yeah. First, I got to thank the parents for watching. Got to thank all the guys down at KSR and Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy and AJ Custom Creations. I got to thank all the wonderful sponsors and wonderful people that help put on this great event. It's really great to see so many unfamiliar names running with us this week, and it's just a really big event, which is really cool to see. And of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. There's going to be a lot of downtime in between races. There was last night. There's going to be tonight. There's nothing passes the time better than a delicious snack. And of course, that delicious snack has to be Galen's. You can head over to their website and don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you guys in the booth. You guys are doing a great job.
Hey, Blake, we're lucky to have awesome guys like you, man. And we are looking forward to that show you're going to put on tomorrow night. Give him hell, kid.
Thanks, Shaggy.
And I'm telling you right now, Robbie, you remember that code, okay? And you try that popcorn.
I'm going to buy some popcorn right now.
I'm telling you right now, I got so sick of Blake beating the heck out of me, me hearing about that popcorn all the time that I ordered it. Dude, Robbie, I haven't stopped. Okay, I probably it's unbelievable.
The main one that Jeff did put the session up, but hopefully he won't advance till we're done.
Yeah, let's bring up the Philly Flyer here real quick, Robbie. One Canadian to another. What do you got to say to the man?
Yeah, Trevor, unfortunately not the finishing position you wanted there in the Post-scramble, but what did you learn that you could take forward to tomorrow night and hopefully advance just a couple more positions and get that big trophy?
The only thing I learned was that I can't run the bottom worth a damn, but yeah, I mean, I envision the track's gonna be a little more worn in when we come to the main feature, but I mean, third's not bad. I think I'd rather start on the bottom for the feature than I would the top. So we'll definitely take third, and I mean, pole's always nice, but see what we can do from third here. Not my all-time favorite track, but doing a lot of learning, running this event and running practice laps after work and stuff, just getting warmed up and learning a lot every time I'm out on the track. So.
And looking ahead to the big block Post-scramble, you're going to start in position number 1. What do you think is the best outlook for that one? What's your plan going forward?
Honestly, I mean, you saw how good of a jump, not a jump, but a run Chad was able to get starting pole. I mean, I started, what was it, second, and I kind of felt like I had to run the top just to see if it'd work, because I kind of figured middle wouldn't. So kind of maybe hoping that's going to be the case for the big block too, but you never know. It's totally different. But just gonna see what the track does in the session when I get in there, and um, probably be committed to the bottom at least for the first lap, and see where it goes from there. But it's really going to depend on the track for me. Going to pay close attention and make some calls from there.
Well, Trevor, we'll wish you the best of luck in the big block Post-scramble, but why don't you go ahead? The floor is yours. Any sponsors you want to thank, shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, definitely. Just got to thank all the guys at Folds Auto Motorsports. I haven't been here long, but it's been a pleasure with all these guys. I've saw some improvement in my driving just being with these guys, and it's a great group. So I appreciate every single one of them. Shout out Vertex Graphics, Castleberry Flagstone, Expert Installation, Dean. Obviously, man, I appreciate you. I forget you sometimes, but this time I'm not. I appreciate you, Dean. You're a sponsor on the car. You're a sponsor on the car, and obviously you do so much for this league and this event, and so I appreciate you and you guys for putting this on. I love going back and watching this stuff. So thank you guys. Thanks everyone. That's part of this.
All right, that's Trevor Drew, your third place finisher here in the 358 Post-scramble.
Yeah, now, what do you say, Dino? You want to talk to your teammate here, my ex-teammate in the 88?
Sure. Hey, Bart, so now you're starting outside pole tomorrow, which is a great starting spot, but I know how competitive you are, and I know how hard you were trying. What do you got for that 91? And you just hope maybe he, second half of the race, maybe he'll reel back into you?
I was sitting there trying to figure out how he's holding that bottom the whole race there, and wasn't until if you go look at the last lap time, figured it out. So maybe I can transfer it in tomorrow. I really don't want to start up front. I said that to the guys before we ever started this race. I was like, I don't want to start P1 because it's like you said yesterday. It's a long race. You're gonna have to save tires, save fuel. So you might see me drop back tomorrow and just ride around for a minute.
Now, you've been part of iRacing for a while, and I've been a teammate with you for a while. I've always known that you seem to be strong in the long-distance races. Do you enjoy the long-distance races, or does it just suit your style?
A little bit of both. I got good throttle control from being on here for so long, so that comes into play. You got to drive smart, know when to take the moves, and just I guess drive with your head. Don't put too much into the throttle is the key to these cars. You break loose, you're gonna lose position. So
Well, you're new to Coast. You just joined about a month ago or so. What would it mean if you picked off your first Coast to Coast win and it was Super Dirt Week?
I mean, was there for a while. I was trying to get back in here. They wouldn't let me in, so it'd mean a lot to come out here and show them what they're missing.
There's Bart. I love it.
I love that too.
Hey, brother, who do you guys think?
Yeah, teammates at FTM, Swan Speed Shop, Super Performance, GripX.com, Dina Dirtcar Series, or for you, and DJ for the rep, and y'all for broadcasting.
All right, brother. Thanks, man.
All right, now let's get a word here with the guy who just absolutely, man, came through like a freaking tornado here in Oswego. Chad, I mean, you could have made it look a little easier here. I mean, you were running with the best of the best here, and you absolutely smashed them, man. How are you feeling, dude?
Oh man, I feel great. The car felt awesome there on the bottom. It's not easy doing what I did out there today for sure. Got to give it hats off to the guys there I was with. Yeah, they put up a good race, but yeah, just car felt way too good on the bottom there to be going backwards.
Now, obviously, Chad, it's a tricky dance, but are you incorporating that left foot in that dance when you're working the bottom like that, man? Because you are smooth down there.
The odd time. It depends on how hard I drive it into the corner. Most times, it's let off enough, but the car just rolls in there and get it to set off, and she just launches off the corner for me nicely, and yeah, I don't know.
Let's go, Robbie. You crack that Canadian code. What do you got out of the man? He may have stepped away real quick. I put him on the spot. Yeah, he may have stepped away. But hey, Chad, I mean, dude, it's obviously you don't have to give it away, but tonight only 10 laps. But can we assume that kind of pace can go for 100 laps, the pace you put down tonight, or do we have to maybe pull the reins a little bit here when we get rolling tomorrow night?
We'll definitely have to see there. Depends on how the race goes. If there's a lot of cautions, I'm definitely gonna try and save my tires there quite a bit. But if it's green flag laps, I'm probably gonna be on the throttle quite a bit.
Well, hey, Chad, man, you're in the best spot, dude. Starting out front and 100 laps to bring it home. I wish I could give you some advice, but you wouldn't want any from me. But so congratulations, Chad, on the good run, man. You got any sponsors you want to thank? That car looks awful pretty tonight.
I certainly got to give a shout out to one of the commentators in the chat here, Dean Reynolds, for sponsoring me, and Matt, Shane, Rylan, Brody, all of us there, and Coast to Coast.
A lot of money.
A lot of us he sponsored. So I got to give a massive shout out to Dean there. Billings Motorsports, me, Shane, we put so much time into this rig, and we just have so much fun. All the guys in Discord. I gotta give a shout out to, or I gotta say hi to my uncle who's watching, Shane's father.
Cool.
Have a beer for me. hope you enjoyed that race. I got to give a shout out to Vertex Graphics for hooking up a nice sweet wrap for me. And my mom and dad, just want to say hi to them.
Is there a certain kind of beer, Chad?
He drinks, yeah, it's Coors.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. I can
Good man.
respect that.
Good
Yeah,
man.
I can respect that.
For him, it's Coors. For me, it's probably Keys.
All right. Well, hey, Chad, hopefully you'll be able to crack open some of them tomorrow for you, brother. Good luck. It's looking good. Long ways to go, but hopefully you're there at the end, man. Give him hell.
Hopefully I'll see you guys again there tonight.
Yep. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, duh. What am I saying, Dino? He's in the other one, isn't he?
And we
Yes.
can say it on the laps. The 358 features 75. So Jeff's in the driver's meeting right now, Shaggy.
All right. Well, you know the drill then. We're going to throw up the little ad video. We'll be right back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stick around with for your first big block modified B-Main. All right, let me adjust these cameras here. We'll get you the lineup going. We've only got one lap here to do this. They're already ready to roll here. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Only 7 cars. Rounding out the field, Ty Dickinson in row 4. Row 3, who you got, Rob?
Yeah, Brian Lawson going to roll off on the outside of row number 3 in car number 9. And his inside, the 2 of Harold Klump.
And then we got Teddy York, who's actually the curator of the North Racing League. Glad to have Chase Matco starting third.
Justin Lansing on the outside of the front row and starting on the pole. We talked to him already once, the 187 of Rick Main. Can he get his way into the dance here? I believe we're ready to wave that green flag here, boys. Green flag waves were underway. 20 laps to play. Top 3 to the show. Good jump there for Rick Main, man. He is able to get out, but the battle on for third on back, excuse me. That's Chase Matsko taking a look under the 09 of Ted York. But Chase struggling there to find grip on the bottom coming out of 4, and now he may lose another one.
Yeah, really tight battle here between the 9 of Lawson, the 26 of Matsko, and now the 67 as well of Dickinson. As Dickinson getting up into this fight. And guys, you know, we mentioned the bad luck that Harold Klump has had so far over the last couple days, just being on the outside looking in. Now he's fallen all the way to the tail here of B-Main number 1, so he's hoping for a little bit of calamity up ahead of him, and he might be part of it as he gets into the back of the 26 of Matsko, sends him up into the fence. Both cars continue on, but chaos already here in B-Main number 1 for the big blocks.
Yeah, no kidding. That.
Do we lose you, Shaggy?
Sometimes when I get too excited, my Logitech software will come out. That's what I sound like.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Not wrong with being excited. Nothing wrong with that.
No, Logitech doesn't like it here. The battle's on for second. Justin Lansing still trying to hold off Ted York. But, I mean, we've talked about it countless times tonight, Dino. If you're the 09 of Ted York, I know you don't want to be that last guy looking in, but we've seen some hard battles. You don't want to knock yourself out and let Brian Lawson steal it from you. So how do you play it? Apparently you go aggressive on the hindsight.
Well, Teddy, it was funny. I was talking to Teddy a little earlier, too, and he was upset at himself that the way he was driving yesterday. Teddy's another sprint car guy. He's a sprint car specialist. That's all he runs. And the way the track is rolled in up top, like Ricky Mayne was running his 358 heat, I think Teddy just feels comfortable up top. He's going to let her eat.
And now Ted, he's got himself in a comfortable spot. Look at Brian Lawson trying to get that 9-car wide. Plenty of room here, but they all ran out of it. Now Lansing maybe in the preferred line. Lawson going to send it in. Slide job. Oh, man. Just going to put Lansing in the wall. And boy, you got to think that's a good night now for the 023. Tough break. As he comes to a stop on the front stretch, no caution flag.
Yeah, Justin Lansing came to a stop there, like you mentioned. He has gotten it going once again, but he's going to be way far out of this one. The battle's on for the third and final transfer position, though. Brian Lawson holding on to it. Ty Dickinson right behind him there in the 67 machine. Lawson slides up. Dickinson takes a look down to the inside. Not quite able to get there that time as they work their way down towards turn number 3, chasing down Teddy York, who's right up the road from them here. And everybody chasing down Ricky Mayne, who has put himself out by about 1.7 seconds. He might even have a stronger gap than what we saw to Chad Lackey at this point in that pole scramble just a couple of moments ago. And this, of course, is the big block. But Ricky Mayne looking real good.
Man, Dickinson was looking pretty good there for a second, but almost got the inside wall, entering 3. Really had to get on the binders, but now Brian Lawson taps the front stretch wall, and that slows him down. Dickinson, he's right there. We're at the halfway point, guys. We got 10 to go. Plenty of time.
Well, if you remember, Ty got into that wall yesterday while he was running mid-pack, and he couldn't get off of it and wound up spinning around. And, you know, he had to exit because the yellow didn't come out. So he's been digging all night in the big block. He's in the 358 field, but Ty is one out, and you know he's going to try anything to get in there.
Okay, so, all right, I guess I'll go to Brian to do this. Now, this isn't to rub in on anyone whenever we find the lap times, but Rick Mayne just ran the fastest lap of the race. You see that? 2 now in the 19.
We push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes. Gold locker racing, we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can...
Ty Dickinson to get back up into this fight as well. Lawson and York were trading sliders and crossovers each and every turn, and that's allowed Dickinson now to take a peek down to the inside of Brian Lawson for the final transfer spot. Still 6 laps to go as Mayne has about a 2.7 second lead over second place Teddy York as Dickinson sends it high, nearly takes it to the attic trying to get by Brian Lawson for third.
Well, Teddy York just proved to me I have no idea what I'm talking about. I told him to run up top, let her eat like a sprint car guy. He went down to the bottom, and he's gotten faster.
Oh, man, you know, he's just trying to swing here, but look at this. I can't believe this either, guys. You remember the first lap contact? Whoop, I clicked on the wrong guy. Harold Plump is all of a sudden back in this picture for the final transfer spot here, depending on how these guys race each other. The Deuce is going to need a little help, but Harold Klump is in the picture.
Yeah, Harold's been in the picture all events so far, just on the outside looking in, and pretty much everything so far when it's come to transfers. But Lawson and Dickinson really battling hard ahead of him may give him that opportunity to kind of sneak through unexpectedly on the inside of these guys as they might beat and bang off of each other with how hard they're racing at this point. 3 to go. Mayne, York, Lawson in the transfer spots. Dickinson and Klump just on the outside looking in. Who's going to get there? We'll find out in just a couple of corners as we come to popsicle sticks this time.
Yeah, 2 laps to go as you see Rick Mayne there coming up on Justin Lansing. Lap traffic after he had gotten in the wall. He was still waiting for that caution. Never came. The battle on here, Harold Klump finally taking the peak, but this may be, you know, I'm not telling him what to do, but I think you want to let those guys race in front of you, kind of try to snooker him there, but he's trying to get involved. White flag wave, one to play.
Yeah, 1 lap to go, boys. These guys are racing hard. Here comes Clump. He's on the inside, side by side for the final transfer. He's going to go with it bobbles, guys. Here we go. Off the 4. Contact between Lawson and Dickinson. And it's going to be Lawson getting that final transfer spot. Wow.
Man.
Again.
Oh.
Breaker for Harold.
Daggy, I don't know if it's something you need to look at, but my phone, the stream froze, stopped, and kicked off YouTube. Can you double check on your end?
Yeah, I have it on. I have it on my phone just so I can follow the chat box.
Are you on Shaggy or Coast to Coast?
Coast to coast.
Okay.
And it did just freeze there on the coast to coast right as you said that. But now I see it back up here. That was really weird.
Okay. What a
See
race.
here. And that why aren't I getting any notifications from Streamlabs telling me something's wrong here? Well, I guess nothing is wrong. It's okay on the coast to coast side. Hopefully that was just a quick technical spot because man, if that race was any indication of what is to come, holy crap. And you guys mentioned I wanted to go back here just real quick. I mean, what a heartbreaker for Harold Clump. I mean, coming out of 4, guys, he is shot out of a cannon. This is coming to the white flag lap, and it looks like he's going to have a run, but I couldn't tell. Is he maybe getting the wall going into 3?
I think so. I think what Harold did is, and I've done it, you got that right in front of you. You think you're going to get the spot, and he went in so hard and just tagged. If he just let off and went in like he normally did 2 laps prior, he probably would have kept that stuck on the bottom, but the car shot across the track a little bit. He apologized. He mic'd up right away, apologized to Brian Lawson, said, I didn't mean that, but poor Harold. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's
you can feel for that guy.
Oh man, that really is. You can you can feel that one. That's a tough break. Let's see. Did we get anybody to show up here for their interview?
Ricky and Teddy York.
All right.
Yeah.
I can take Teddy if you like.
Yeah, he's all yours, and you can have Ricky there, Rob, because I'll mess around with
Sounds
all
good.
my technical problems.
There you go. Well, Teddy York, you've been climbing all Super Dirt Week, and now you finally got in. And I noticed, I'm sitting here telling everybody how you're a sprint car specialist. That's why you're going up to the top, letting her eat, being comfortable. But then you made a lane switch on the bottom, and you got faster.
Yeah, that one car, I don't know who it was, but he slid me, and then I went for the cut down, and I was like, man, this feels really good coming off the corner, and I pulled him. So I was like, well, I'm going to try, the bottom of 1 and 2 and see what happens, and that felt pretty good. So I parked it on the bottom for the rest of the race.
Now you still got some work to do with the 358. You got a last chance qualifier tomorrow, but you messaged me earlier and you said you were upset the way you're driving. You don't have a lot of experience. So I mean, even if you don't make the 358 race, are you happy just to get into one of the features?
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I made one. That's a goal.
So now I told a lot of people that you're the main guy over at NARC, the National Auto Racing League, and the SSR was it Sim School of Racing. And you sponsored this event as well to show that leagues can work well with each other. You've put on big events as well. How does it feel to be on the other side? Because you can appreciate the effort that Jeff Barker and the gang are putting together, but are you enjoying being on the other side for once?
Oh, absolutely. I know what the work that it takes to put on an event like this, and God, I know how much it is, and thank you guys for everything. It's a ton of work.
Well, thank you for the sponsorship, and who do you got to thank? To your fans and the sponsors, who do you got to thank?
I got to thank School of Sim Racing.
Oops, still there, Teddy?
Yep, I got to thank Bruce for telling me that them guys were catching me because I wasn't paying no attention.
Is that Bruce Klingman?
Yes. Everybody over at School of Sim Racing, they're all pretty great. So
Awesome, man. And then, hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Good luck in the LCQ and the 358 race, and we'll see you in the Big Block feature.
thank you.
Thanks, Teddy.
Yeah, catching up with Rick Maines here again. Rick, you had a solid run here in this heat race. What did you find that just seemed to be a bit of magic there for you?
Just just clean racetrack. It was my first clean racetrack of the night, and just was able to plug away there on the bottom. And I actually messed up the bottom of 3 and 4 and pushed off of it, and almost ran like a little slider line, and found that actually was a little faster, and that's where I ran my fastest lap, and did that for a while until that fence got too scary and I didn't want to disappear, so moved away from that after that.
Well, we didn't want you to disappear either. That's never fun out here. But, looking ahead to tomorrow, it's totally different. You're going to be starting deep in the field, going to be a 100-lap feature. How do you approach the start of that one? And, do you have maybe a period of the race in mind that you're going to hit that loud pedal and start working your way forward? Or is it going to be balls to the wall right from the start?
Well, some of those guys up front are really fast, so it's going to be playing putt around but don't get lapped early. So and I did one of these 100 lappers here at Oswego. I probably will turn my force feedback down because I had to arm pump like crazy last time, and making both features, I can only imagine what all of us are going to feel Friday.
Yeah, those arms are going to be just like jelly out there for you guys by the end of it. But that's it for you tonight. You're pretty much done. Why don't we go ahead and get some sponsor shout outs, and who supports you?
Yeah, just all the guys at Inferno, Hinkle Homes, D&T Designs, Highline Cinematography, A&J Customs. Shout out Andy doing the trophies for this. All you guys up here in the broadcast booth, C2C. I love these charity events. I tell all kinds of people that don't even know about iRacing how cool it is that we do these things and we raise money for different causes. So just really happy to be here, and thanks all you guys again.
Well, Rick, congratulations on the victory. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night in the features.
Thanks, boys.
And Rick Mayne, no surprise there, guys, getting it done here. I mean, not the starting spot he'd like, but we've all said it countless times. Long way. If anybody can go, Rick Mayne's the man to do it and climb through the field. But let's step away here. We'll take a short break on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back with B Main number 2. Stick around. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Our final B main of the night, and guys, man, they decided to all wait to come out for this one. 11 guys, only 3 making the show, man. This is going to be tough. I would not want to pick the guys to go home here. Lots of good names in this list.
Yeah, it's really tough to pinpoint anyone that has a disadvantage. I mean, you know, you look at the tower right now, Molyneux, Rion, Boydell, even Towers, who just joined us tonight, wasn't out here last night, but joined him from the tail of these B mains. He's going to have a lot of work to do, but he had good pace earlier on in the 358, have good pace so far in practice here, and even right behind him there, Logan Wentz. Wentz has been quick all night long. It's stacked all throughout, 11 cars deep and 11 talented cars at that.
Dino, how many do we count, or what was, first off, I'm terrible with this, what was the nickname for John?
Papa Dukes.
Papa Dukes. Okay, so is Papa Dukes officially an FTM member?
No, he's not an FTM member, but he's kind of like Kelly Wheeler. He's our, we invite him into the Discords and such like that. And, I like to say the older guys are voice of reasons, but John and Kelly, they're minds of their own. We let them go on, and they're a riot in Discord.
Oh man, John is a lot of fun. I hung out with him a little bit when he first got into the league, when he would do those old-timer races with my dad, and he is a lot of fun.
And that and Kelly Wheeler, we always want him to finish in the top 3 because his interviews are classic. You'll say, Kelly, how's it feel to finish 3rd? He'll go, better than 4th. And that's all he'll say.
It's a good point.
Yes,
It's a good point, actually.
These are a few words of wisdom.
That's how Sam is. God bless his soul, Sam Bachman. Man, I like trying to open a tuna can with a dull knife. That guy, I love him to death. He will talk our butts off when we're hanging out in that Discord. When you get him up here for a winning interview with him, he is clammed shut when you try to talk to Sam.
Hey boys, I just got some news here. I know we weren't too sure if Matt Barber and Joey Lattiser would be joining us tomorrow due to Test and Tune taking place at Cornwall, but they just put out a post due to some rain that we've had recently.
Yes, saturated grounds. Okay.
The track service for Sunday, Test and Tune is canceled. So that means Matt Barber and Joey Lattiser will be here for the feature races tomorrow night.
Well,
that's a good deal.
Bad news for them, I guess bad news for them if they wanted to test and tune, and bad news for everybody else in the field. I think because those are 2 guys you're going to have to keep your eye on to win this thing. Secretly, we can all say we want to race the best and beat the best, but some of the guys were probably hoping maybe they were going to go test tomorrow night, but man, that's good for us, guys.
Yes, it is. Two quality guys, 2 nice guys, and 2 fast guys. And Canada is like saying yeehaw. Or you don't say yeehaw, eh? Or something like that.
We just say A.
Yeah, there you go.
We should be getting I imagine we're doing a driver's meeting right now.
He's doing the driver's meeting right now. He's talking. Actually, we should say it. He's talking about if anyone is from the Coast to Coast Racing Leagues are home tomorrow, they're doing a satellite Super Modified Week satellite event tomorrow, a matinee with limited late models.
Ooh, what time's that?
That's fun.
If it's a normal time, it should be 2 o'clock, but I'll find out and I'll post it in the Discord for anyone that wants to join.
I might have to do that. We'll have to see what's going on in the afternoon. But, guys, it's getting ready. I think we're going to get that starting grid here soon. Should have 11 drivers on it.
Yeah, and this one's going to have fireworks.
Let's see here. All right, this one looks correct again. Okay, it's 2 for 2 now. We're not counting. We're not counting the other ones, so we're saying 2 for 2. All right, rounding out the field, the 009 of Justin Towers in row 6, row 5. Who we got?
Yeah, row 5 starting on the outside in position number 10. It's the 18 of Logan Wentz, and to his inside, car 21 is John DeBias.
Actually, I got Mason Hine and John DeBias.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Shaggy, it was wrong.
It
Logan's on the.
Damn it. Damn it! How I really don't understand. This has never
So,
ever happened before.
Let's
I don't
correct
even
it.
know how
Row
to-
5 on the outside, driving car number 89 is Mason Hine, and still to his inside in car 21 is John Tobias.
Well, we want to thank John for lining up properly.
Yeah.
Row number 4, well, let's go with the nicknames. We got Butters and Papa Dukes. I'll let you guys figure out who we're talking about.
Row 3 to the top shelf, the 115 of Kevin Marin. To the inside, the 444, a slide job, Scotty Rayone.
Row number 2, starting in the outside, driving car number 74, it's Peter Breeze. Into his inside, the 883 of Bud Molyneux.
And on the front row, we know how, as Harold Klump's been a story, Logan Wentz has been a story as well. So Logan Wentz, hopefully he finally gets some good luck starting on the outside pole. And the Iron Man, Greg Boydell, he's in the 358 feature. It would be something if he can actually put his big block in the field as well.
Yeah, he's man, I'll tell you, hasn't had the laps in as of late. We talked about it last night. He's taking a break a little bit. But Greg, man, he's one of those guys that he can wheel that car, and not used to seeing him in purple. I'm used to seeing that black and orange, so this is something to get used to here. But as we get set, 20 laps at the Oswego Speedway, the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Your big block modified. B-main, number 2 underway. Holy crap, boys. Gloves are off right away. Bud Molyneux to the inside. That thing is beat up. And no caution.
Man. That's heartbreaker for Bud right there. He's trying to get that machine rolling. He does. So looks like we will stay green. GJ Boydell leads the way. Logan Wentz takes a peek to his outside. Wentz goes way high. Side by side for the top spot as the caution flag is out. And this one, I believe, is Bud Molyneux going pit side.
Yeah, probably had trouble working. Let's go back even a little further than that. I imagine, having trouble trying to steer this damaged race car. But let's see if we can pinpoint what happened here on the start. So just Greg maybe spun the tires there, jumped, and everybody checked up. And you could see he kind of shot down low, but then got a shot in the right rear. I mean, is that what you boys are seeing?
Yeah, it kind of looked. Go ahead, Dino.
No, I was going to say, the one thing that happens with these cars is we call it getting on the bars. And when you're hitting the front straightaway at Oswego and you have the big blocks with all these power, the cars, if you notice, dart to the left or dart to the right. And I think what happened was Bud got on the gas and his car darted a little bit, so he got off the gas to kind of straighten it up. And Scotty Rayome had a good start where his car didn't get on the bars. And he just got together, and that's what caused that deal. It's just a racing deal, but it's a tendency that happens with these cars only.
And you could see there, he was trying to get that thing back to the pits, but, I mean, when you break that right front, there's nothing you can do. You're just along for the ride. That's tough. And hopefully, I mean, you mentioned it last night, Dino. Pace lap's kind of longer here. If you get that toe, sometimes you can get out at the time.
Yes.
And it took him a little bit.
Yeah, if you have the toe, what you want to do is hit that escape button as quick as you can. So if the field is pacing, then you got pacing, 2 to go, 1 to go. You can get back out in time.
Yeah, some of the places not so forgiving, but definitely here, I want to say Williams Grove, Eldora, some of the places
USA,
you can get
tracks
away.
like that,
USA.
Port Royal.
Yeah. Oh, how could I forget about the Speed Palace? Man, that's- shame on me.
Come on, Shaggy.
I know. That's where I steal my, I can't even think of his name right now. Wonderful announcer. I absolutely love the announcer up there at Port. And he does the play in the clay at Port Royal Speedway. So,
Sean Browse.
Yeah, he does phenomenal. I love it.
He's over at Williams Grove now.
Here we are, getting ready to go back racing here. I believe we may have gotten 2 in the books here. Lap 17 underway as we're back and ready to play here at the Oswego Speedway. Actually, lap 18. It did the refresh on me, so we had only gotten the 1 in the books here. Now we're 2 in.
Yeah, now we're 2 in and a much, much cleaner start there. But that's not going to last long as everyone's going to go around. Kevin Morey, John Tobias going to both come together towards the rear. Tobias trying to get that machine rolling. He does. Will stay green, but the battle's back on for the top spot between Boydell and Wentz as Wentz takes to the high side once again.
Yeah, kind of surprised Boydell left that top shell open. I mean, Logan had kind of shown him the front tires right when that first caution came out. We saw in the last B main how well the high lane worked. So Greg, he's going to be okay for now. But man, once he watches Wentz go by, what he eventually does, he may have to get up there and slot in line.
Well, I think Greg's also probably watching his relative, and you know, if the fourth place car is not closing in too much, I think he'll settle for where he is, being happy and conservative in the line he enjoys. Because you know, Greg, first, second, or third, it don't matter. He just wants one of them.
No, and realistically, I mean, that's the smart way to play it, because we've said it so many times, Dino. Get yourself in this show. That's what matters here tonight. So you don't want to push the issue.
And you mentioned the fourth place car. Peter Breeze had a bit of an issue there just a moment ago. Had quite the bobble ahead of Mason Hine and Justin Towers. Towers actually going to be the one to lose out on that one. He's going to lose a handful of spots back to position number 8 as the battle's on for second, though. Boydell back to the inside of Jason Butterfield. Butterfield cooking up there on the high side. Smooth as butter down the back straight away. Boydell still chasing him down, and they're all chasing Logan Wentz, who, as soon as he cleared Boydell, has set sail and now has a half-second lead with just over 12 laps to go.
Yeah, you saw I put up their best times there on the board, and well, Logan Wentz, he just ran the fastest lap of the race that time by, but right before that, when I was going to speak up, it was actually slide job Scotty with the quickest lap of the race, but he's stuck back here in 6th place. So Scott Rayome, he's got a quick race car, but he is going to need a caution if he wants to move that 4 up towards the front. And boys, with 11 to go, Sand's running out of the hourglass.
Boy, Butterfield's really getting a great run off turn 2, and yeah, and he's going down the back straightaway, catching Logan. But again, know your role, know where you're at, and just be patient.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's kind of you know, Robbie may not know about this, Dino, but it's kind of an unspoken thing in this league. Obviously, you guys have your rivalry with Venom, but the fact that you guys have come together for sponsorships, FTM and Venom, you know, they're kind of like that, maybe not your blood brother, you know, but that step brother that you like to pick on that brings heart.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, matter of fact, Venom has us in their Discord and vice versa, and we joke around in each other's Discords. We throw up current events and joke around, and great bunch of guys, you know, with Isaac and Brian Lawson and Butters, and, you know, we can't forget Butchie Baker and Dan McLaren and all those guys. And, you know, Trevor Drew was part of Venom, but he came over to Full Throttle Motorsports. And really the only reason why is because the guys at Venom just, they got lives and they can't race as much, and Trevor wanted to race more. Isaac gave him his blessing and said, hey, go on over to Full Throttle Motorsports so you can race more and learn more.
Oh, Scotty, we were riding with him there. He's gotten up into 4th place, but guys, long way back. He's almost a full straightaway out of 3rd. I don't think it's enough time without a caution flag here. So Scotty's going to have to do, I know the rain dance, but I don't know if we got a caution dance. He's going to need to figure one out here. Running out of time, 6 to go this time by.
Yeah, not quite enough time if we do stay green for Rayome to get up there. This top 3 is running blistering pace here so far. And one thing to point out, Jason Butterfield up 6 positions from his starting spot. Started back in row number 4, now up to that 2nd spot. He's currently in a battle here with Greg Boydell, who started on the pole here in B main number 2. 5 laps to go. Wentz, Butterfield, and Boydell currently in those transfer spots. Rayome, Hine, and Breeze, the first 3 on the outside looking in.
Yeah, Rayome, he has cut the gap down, now down to 3.8. He has got that thing screaming. He's driving it for all she's worth, but now we got to wonder if the caution would fly. Has he wasted too much stuff? Does he have enough left? 4 to go. Logan Wentz, your leader, into the inside wall, 40 to 1. Butters has to get on the binders and slide up the racetrack, but boy, it got hairy there.
Yeah, Butters did a good job, though, reacting to that. He's like, well, wait a minute. It's, you know, like you said, you can get in the inside wall easily here. And Logan just did, but Butters just said, you know, let's hit the brakes. Let's bring them all home here. Now, John looks like John Tobias is just ahead of him. This might play into play here.
Yeah, I would think, you know, I've seen plenty of races out there with Blackjack. I would think he'd get out of the way if he needed to. Definitely not obligated to, but man, he might want to, because we're coming to 2 to go. If Butters is working that wheel, he's got Boydell reeling him in, and I think they're maybe getting to that point where it may not be good for them. They may feel a little too comfortable. They got a 3-second gap over Scotty, and they might put the gloves off here with the white flag ready to fly this time by.
Yeah, coming to the white flag this time. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Butterfield to the top, Wentz to the bottom. Butter slides up, Wentz comes up with him. Here comes Boydell as well. Side by side for the top spot, down the backstretch into turn number 3 for the final time. Tobias just up the road as they work their way off of 4. Here they come, Logan Wentz with the advantage up top. Checkered flag is Wentz. What a battle to the line. Logan Wentz, Jason Butterfield, Greg Boydell. That's your top 3 going to the big dance. Rayome, Hine, Breeze, Towers, Morano, Tobias, Morey, and Molyneux to the last chance.
That's how you race hard and clean. Proven it can be done. Those two were working it. I mean, coming to the white flag, they made sure they were bringing home 1 and 2. Didn't matter what order, they were working hard. That's a great run out of those guys. Not too sure if, I think GJ, he may have wadded it up in 1 and 2. So we may only get 2 cars parked here on the line. But
I'm sure he's very happy making, with 50-something, well, actually with Justin Towers, 58 cars in this event. I'm sure he's just happy to be in both races.
A pretty unbelievable showing there. Tough break, though. You got to be feeling. I know he was on cloud 9 early in the week there, but Scotty coming home that odd man out, boy, you got to feel for that Ford,
Yeah, he's going to be outside poles in the LCQ tomorrow. Of course, we're only taking 1 unless somebody calls for a scratch. Now, we knew about Joey and Matt Barber, and they were going to let me know during the day that if they could make it or not. And if they couldn't, we were going to take more out of the LCQs. But now that they're in, tomorrow, 15 laps and only 1 goes. But Scotty's going to start in the outside pole. And Logan's in the waiting room.
Yeah, we do have Logan. I was going to say if we maybe wait, see if we got P2 first, but we might as well just pull up Logan.
I'll get up and
That is absolutely fantastic. I'm used to Muranos and Sam's. I didn't know you had one too, Logan. That is great. Great surprise, man. How are we feeling? It's been an up and down night for you, but able to battle hard, bring this one home. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, not exactly feeling good in the head after that one. My Oculus was shake-eared and all hell for that whole race. A little woozy right now, but feeling good going into Thursday though.
Now, is it the Oculus, or did Dino not do a good enough job getting the dirt out there?
The Oculus.
Come on, Logan, blame me.
Well, Dean, you weren't around on the track to blame this time.
Now, that's interesting you mentioned that. Is that why you got into the wall there with like 4 to go? Is because with your geez, okay, so that's what you need on a track that's already tough. You got vision problems.
Yeah, it really helps a whole lot when you're going through the corners and your whole body's shaking, which is making your head shake.
Oh, jeez.
Now, obviously, Logan, I know, you're not teammates, but Dino and I, we touched on it up here a little bit. You run hard with those Venom guys, man, and you always have fun doing it. So were you worried there in the battle for the lead, or did you know Butters, he was going to race you hard, but he was going to race you clean?
Oh, I always know Butters is going to race me clean when he comes up by me. It's always good going back and forth with him, but I did get a little scared once I caught that jut out in the wall 3 and 4 because I thought I was going to the hot dog stand.
Logan, you've been in a couple of these, from my understanding, these long-distance runs, so you got that experience coming in, and we both know starting position, I mean, yeah, it can help you, but boy, not really going to hurt you. It's going to be all about tire management. How do you come into tomorrow night? I mean, what's the attitude? We worried about picking any guys off before the halfway point, or do you just kind of relax? What's the plan?
I'm kind of just going into tomorrow relaxing for at least the big blocks. The 358s, it's kind of tough with just only being 75 laps starting from the back, whether or not I want to go from the start or wait a little bit.
Well, hey, Logan, congratulations, man, on bringing this thing home, locking yourself in the B main. We're looking forward to see what you can do in the big blocks tomorrow night. Congrats, brother. Who you want to thank?
Well, I got to thank Casper Flagstone, the boys over at FTM, you guys at Coast to Coast for putting these on for us to race, and the season they run for these guys to race in and week out. Just glad to be here.
Well, hey, man, we're glad to have you. You look good tonight, other than that. Well, we're watching right now that one scare when you went into 1 and 2, but you were able to recover and bring it home. So, hell of a job, Logan. Looking forward to it, brother.
Thanks, man.
Logan Wentz bringing home the B main. It got quiet here. No Boydell, no Butters. So I know Butters likes to talk. I'm surprised Butters didn't
But we
get
do
up there.
have a full field for the big block scramble. Sam Bachman's here. All 6 of us are here.
Oh, so Sam just rode off the 358s. He thinks he's good enough, doesn't need it. All right, I understand. Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back with that big block modified pole scramble, and I believe somebody who's been in the booth with us is going to be racing that thing. So we'll get to watch his onboard while he's turning some laps. Better go practice a little, Dino, here while we take this break. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with the finale here, the big block modified pole scramble. These are the top 6 qualifiers racing for their starting spot. Man, it is going to be a good one here, boys. We got Dino, we got Garrix. I mean, we got the guy that dominated the small block. We got Lackey. I mean, who do we watch here, Rob?
Man, Chad Lackey put down a blistering pace here already in practice, but Sam Bachman has closed up, as does Trevor Giroux. Only about a 1/10 of a second separating Lackey and Giroux right now. Bachman back in that 3rd spot. Plots 4th right now out there on the speed charts. Reynolds and Moore as well. And I think we got to watch Dino. He's been up here taking notes all night long, watching what these guys are doing, and he's going to put into play here for these 10 laps and go out and dominate this pole scramble.
You and I are the same, brother. I was literally organizing those cameras while you were talking. That's why I went to you. There is Dino putting some laps, and Trevor doing it as well. Trevor, oh man, got the lights turned down now. It's
don't see the Flyers flag anymore.
no, he's setting the mood. I do like it. Thank you for doing that, Trevor. I'm sure it was just didn't want to show off the flag. Let's see here. I mean, look at Dino. I mean, we've talked about Trevor being now. Trevor's fighting that thing a lot more than Dino. Look at that wheel comparison. Actually, this is pretty good. All right, okay, never mind. I'm watching Dino. It's because he's slow pulling in the pits.
Oh, driver's meeting.
Okay, that's why. But even Trevor pulling in for the driver's meeting, he's fighting the steering wheel. That's unbelievable. It looked like you guys were at two different racetracks there. You were smooth on that thing.
Well, I run a very tight wheel, and for me to be fast, I can't move the wheel a lot. So I'm very anal about my wheel settings. And it really, I actually have my left elbow on the arm of my chair with the steering wheel, and I don't really grip it that hard on the left side, and that's how I can stay fresh for long distance races. It's just what I got to do.
I just realized you're going to see the screen transition because my eyes were playing funny with me. I didn't have Dino stretch the whole way over. Okay. Needed to do that for preference. I don't know why I left that little space on the side. But Trevor, I got a feeling he knows he's on camera now because he's tightened up. He's glanced down at it a little bit.
He's professional right now.
Yeah, yeah. And now
he's
now
locked
look,
in.
The flags lit back up. I mean, once he realized he was on camera. Oh, never mind.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, thank God, Trevor. Leave that off. No.
Oh, he's listening to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Bright light, low light, bright light. What's going on?
I don't
He's
know
just
what he's doing
over here.
I'm watching it too. It looks like there's another computer screen that might be on and off or something, maybe.
He's like checking his Facebook or something over on the right side, and
Yeah,
maybe he's watching Dirt Vision.
Oh man.
These damn kids multitasking.
Speaking of, did you hear any word? I know Dino said there was a nasty crash there in the heat race. Did they say if everyone was good?
Yeah, everyone's okay. They're in the looks like they're, what are they here? I got it on. Oh, let me grid first. Jeez.
There, Dino.
Yeah, might want to do that. We won't make you read this starting grid here.
Oh, they're in the C main right now. Oh, I can read the starting grid because I can see all of them because I'm starting last.
All right, okay, all right. You can have row 2 then. I'll go row 3. Robbie, you take the front row, and this is your call, dude. This is your call here to start this thing. Row 3 to the outside, the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds, to the inside, the 96 of Brody Plotz.
Row number 2, we call him 007. My FTM mate, Sam Bachman, starting 4th. And Shaggy dubs him Mr. Wednesday Night. Brian Moore Sr. starts 3rd.
Starting on the front row, driving the number 91 machine. He was absolutely dominant earlier on in the Post-scramble for the 358s. The 91 of Chad Lackey rolls off on the outside of row 1. On your pole, the 075, it's Trevor Giroux. We just saw him there in the bottom left of your screen just a moment ago. Now we'll see him lead us to the green flag as the drivers work their way around. They're getting these machines fired up. We saw Giroux adjust his wheel a little bit earlier on, pulled it tight, made it right. He's ready to swing and sing out here at Oswego as the drivers get the 1 to go signal this time. We're going to go green next time by. And Shaggy, I'm going to ask you, because it's Dino's in the field. Who's your pick to win here in this pole shuffle?
Oh, man, I hate to steal the Canadian from you, but after what I saw Chad Lackey do, I'd have to be done. Yeah, I'm taking Chad Lackey here. I mean, he's going to dominate this thing from what I saw.
Yeah, Chad Lackey, definitely a very, very strong pick. Very quick here so far in the practice session. Setting himself up in the outside of row number 1. I'm going to go with the driver to his left, also a Canadian, Trevor Giroux in car 75. As we get set to go green this time, the field tightens up. The field hits the loud pedal. We're underway as we set sail down into turn number 1. Giroux with a great jump. Lackey going to fall back just a wee bit. Here's their side-by-side for 3rd and 4th. Moore and Bachman battling it out here. Here comes Dino Dean Reynolds. Almost went 3 wide, but thought better of it. Come on, Dino. Stick it in there.
Yeah, Dino's fighting that wheel. He may think he's muted. Sometimes Marty mutes him while we race.
No, I'm the place. Well, Robin said stick it in there, and I got Megan sitting on the couch next to me. That didn't go over very well.
Oh, man. All this while he's ripping the outside over Brody Plotz, too. What a pass. Dino's got it in him tonight.
3 up top. 6 big guys on the top side.
Yeah, man. That top side. Oh, look at the battle for the lead here. Chad Lackey to the inside. And, man, he made that quick. Only took him, 2 laps here, Rob. Chad to the front. And, man, Trevor better hook on the toe strap while he can.
Man, Chad made that pass, and he's already got 0.8 of a second between himself and Trevor Giroux. That battle has dissolved here now as Lackey starting to pull away once again. Already up to a 1-second lead over second place Giroux. Third place Bachman holding on to that position. Moore in a bit of a world of his own as the battle's on for 5th. It's the Urishi Media number 96. The Brody Plotz side by side with Dean Reynolds. Reynolds on the inside, Plotz up top. Reynolds going to send it in. Plotz goes a bit too deep up to the high side. Bobbles gathers it back up. He's going to get in line here as they work their way down. Cross flags were in the air that time. 5 down, 5 to go. Now coming to just 4 remaining as Lackey already got a 1.1 second lead over second place Trevor Giroux.
I'll tell you, I mean, these guys are lucky. This is not a 30-lap feature tomorrow night because they would have to do their homework. 100-lap may be the difference maker. Hopefully Chad, can woe down the horses and save some pace. But if he can do this the whole time tomorrow, good night. Andy might as well put his name on the trophy now because he is burning this place down. 1.5 seconds, 3 to go.
Yeah, one thing I'm watching here is the battle for the 4th position. Dean has cleared Brody Plotz for that 5th spot. Now chasing down Brian Moore Sr. in the 55 machine as they work their way down that back straightaway. Coming to 2 to go this time. Reynolds trying to get there, not quite close enough this time as Lackey comes around, popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for the Billings 91 of Chad Lackey, and he leads by almost 2 seconds now once again over Trevor Giroux. Giroux holding on second. Bachman in that 3rd spot. These guys have shot out of a cannon from the drop of this one as the white flag's in the air. 1 lap to go for Chad Lackey as he looks to double down on pole positions here tonight as we get set to set the stage for tomorrow night's big features.
Yeah, final time through 3 and 4, and you said it, Chad Lackey. Welcome to the front row again. Wins this thing by 2 seconds. The Philly Flyer, the Samaconda, Mr. Wednesday Night, Dino and Brody Plotz rounds out the top 6. Boy, oh boy, Dino, I know, you're going to be happy starting 5th, but man, I'm just going to get right to you. What do we do about this 91? Because oh my gosh, dude. He's in his own league right now.
That's a 10-lap race, and I lost by 5.5 seconds. That means he's going to lap me 18 times in a 100-lap race. Or do the math. Something. I mean, that is, this is. You know what? It's Chad's sandbox, and we're all playing in it.
No, that really is, and I know we're joking and obviously having some fun, but Dean, you can kind of hear the frustration in your voice. We didn't really see. I mean, obviously, you're battling hard, so you're not out there running qualifying laps. But man, you said it. To get out ahead that far, that quick, man. And right here we're watching it. It's easy to remember, guys. He didn't even start on the pole. It took him 2 laps to get by Trevor. So absolutely unbelievable.
We're trying to baby our cars to go the distance. I mean, it's 10 laps. We're going all out. That's not good.
This is going to be wild. Let's see if we
I'm going to have to go home and kick the cat tonight. Oh, I'm already home.
Let's go ahead. Let's pull up the 196 here. The driver brought home 6th. And Dino, you want to take this one? I mean, it's up to you. You guys, you had some fun out there.
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, Brody, thank you for coming to the event, and thank you for joining Coast to Coast. And what brings the track photographer of the Brockville, Ontario Speedway to iRacing?
I mean, I kind of just picked it up a little bit last year and kind of enjoyed it, so ran with it. And yeah, thank you, Dean, for having us out. That was a good race between you and I. We kind of swapped positions there a few times. It was fun.
Now, I don't know if it's considered a teammate, but you're part of what I call the Canadian clan. Matt Barber, yourself, Chad Lackey, Dustin DeRozier, but unfortunately he can't run in this race, and Shane Billings. But when you see Chad go on out that far and see how dominant it is, and you guys are in the same Discord, are you picking his brain a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, he gets a clean air, so he kind of can run with it. So I mean, I'm just lucky I'm even racing in the top 6 at this point. So I'm just kind of figuring out whatever line works for me while I'm going and hoping for the best, really.
Well, and I just want to thank you for slipping up so I can actually get underneath and pass the car and make my ego feel a little bit better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who do you guys think, my friend?
Brockville, Ontario Speedway, of course. As you said, I'm the track photographer there, so that's an awesome opportunity I've been doing. And Race Pro Weekly for getting me around to other tracks and giving me the chance to shoot other tracks. They're a huge help for what I do. And yeah, thank you, Dean, for having us. And super fun. This is an awesome thing, and can't wait to race tomorrow.
Well, we got some good news that Joey Latisaur and Matt can run tomorrow, so everyone's happy about that. We're going to have all the Canadian clan in the race tomorrow, so it's really cool. So thanks all to you guys, and we wish you the best tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
That's Birdie Plots bringing home 6. Going to start 6 tomorrow. Dino, I'll take you. I think maybe we could do some math and know why. But Dino, man, bringing home 5th. Congratulations, brother. I mean, inside row 3, that's going to be prime real estate here for this thing. Get to watch those guys and see what kind of pace they set off tomorrow night.
Yeah, actually, as I talked earlier, I said it's going to be a total practice session for me. I did want to go up to the top to see if there was anything there. I tried during practice and it didn't, but it built up a little bit. And I thought 3 and 4 actually it grabbed, but it didn't grab in 1 and 2. And then when I knew that wasn't going to be there and it was going to be bottom only, I actually did try to get Brody to get 5th because the first part of that race until the outside gets going, you want to be on the bottom. So I definitely wanted to start 5th. So that was the goal right there. I wasn't really even going to try to pass Brian. I wanted to get close. I tried to run the bottom trail to break a little bit to learn and stay there, but I wasn't going to get by him because I'd rather start 5th and 4th. So, I'm just actually, like I said, I'm just happy that the track had an outside yesterday in the time trials, and I just happened to put together the one lap that a 1 out of 100, and it just happened to be the one that was yesterday and got in the top 6. And then my biggest thing is I just got to learn how to pace myself and last 100 laps tomorrow.
Yeah, and I want to ask you because Rick, he kind of brought it up himself, I believe. Maybe Robbie asked him. Somebody asked a good question, or like I say, Rick's the genius. But dude, 175 laps tomorrow. I didn't really process that, and then we're finishing off with arguably the most difficult car, the big block. So how do you pace yourself tomorrow? Because I mean, let's be honest, man. We're not spring chickens here, us guys, and that's a lot on you. So I mean, how do you pace yourself tomorrow?
I think it's going to be okay because Oswego, yes, it's bumpy, but the straightaways are long. And that FTM 100 lapper that we had with the big blocks, it was an open set. So the cars are getting more bite and you can run harder. We only had 1 yellow, and I wasn't too bad. I felt good at the end. I was actually concerned. I said, you know how those FTM races is, Shaggy. There's not a lot of yellows because, we only invite guys that we know can race clean and such. And you remember you were broadcasting it. But I felt surprisingly well after that. But with 75 laps before that and the 358s, you're not going to get your tire wear as much. So you're going to be able to run them really hard where you're going to pace yourself in the big block. So it is going to be interesting, but I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, you kind of stole my question. That's what I was going to say. With the difference in laps, we're not even worried about fuel, are we? 75 laps in the small block like we are in the big block. I mean, other than your right rear, you'll be able to go the whole time, right?
Yeah, there's 24 gallons in both sets, and you could actually do like 18 gallons and still do 75 laps at Oswego. But the key is the right rear. You want to keep the right rear underneath you. You start noticing your right rear really going away when you get into the 60%. When they're 90, 80, 70, you don't really feel it. Then all of a sudden you get in the 60s. Then when your announcer gets in your spotter, gets in your right ear and says you got to conserve tires, that's where you hit the 50%. That's why you get that in your ear. Then you know those tires are going to go away faster because that 50 to 0 is like, you remember how the gas tank gauges, they were always slow to halfway, and then once you get to halfway, they went real quick back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh,
well, that's how your tires are here. You take a long time to get to the 50%, but once you get to the 50%, you could do 20 laps and be down to 20%. So that's going to be the key in the 358s. The big blocks, you do have to conserve because, as you saw, I ran out with 2 laps to go in that 100 lapper with FTM. So, yes, you're going to have to conserve because cautions do not count. So it is going to be 100 laps under green. Now, there's going to be more cars. The track is probably going to be a little bit more burnt off, so it might take care of itself. But I'm not going to push it until I know around lap 20, I'll look down, see what I got left, and then if I know I got plenty of fuel, then I'll go to the top, let her sing, and then not worry about it.
Well, hey, Dino, without you, man, none of this gets put together. You did a wonderful job with everything. I mean, the way you and Barker have teamed up to do all these rooms and make it run smooth. This has been the best one in a while. It's been phenomenal. And to top it off, man, you got yourself in both shows. So congratulations, Dino. Look forward to watching you cut it up out there tomorrow night. But for now, brother, you got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'll just thank my teammates, the Full Throttle Motorsports gang, and for those guys. And Shaggy, thanks to you. But I'll get in the booth after the big block race tomorrow, and then we'll go over and thank everybody. But but before I do, I got to thank all 58 competitors. I mean, a lot of them did it just because they want to be part of the event, but they also want to donate to charity. There's actually 6 or 7 of them that looks like they just wanted to donate to charity. They didn't grid, and that's okay. They gave their money, and and if they had time, they probably could grid. But what a Super Dirt week! I mean, Super Dirt Modified week. We're going to do LC tomorrow and then do 2 features. But I do think this is the biggest one yet. And thanks to you and Robert and Marty for coming to bring it to everyone's homes. And we're going to give her hell tomorrow, guys.
I'm looking forward to it, Dino. Congratulations. And now, Robbie, we won't kick Dino out here, but I'm going to bring up the man who finished P4, Mr. Wednesday Night. You got it from here.
And this stuff.
Yeah, Brian, you had one heck of a battle out there. Great race. Why don't you walk us through your pole shuffle that just took place here, bringing you home in position number 4?
Oh, on that start, I was just trying to hold that bottom line and see if I could get ahead of Bachman there. And once he kind of pulled me a little bit, I thought, well, I'll just get up here behind him and see if I can hold on to 4th. I'd rather start on the outside than on the inside anyway in this feature coming up. So I wasn't going to push it real hard.
No, absolutely not. You put yourself in a good spot, going to start on the outside of row number 2. And obviously, Chad Lackey seems to be the car to beat here so far this week. He has had insane pace. What do you think you guys have to do a little bit differently tomorrow night to have something to contend with Chad Lackey?
I don't know. I don't think I've got anything for these younger guys, man. I'm surprised.
Tell me about it, Brian. Tell me about it.
I'm surprised to be in here up this close to the front starting this darn thing. And I was just telling them guys, man, they're all like, oh, I'm 20 something. I'm like, I had to mic up and tell them, dude, I'll be 67 this year. I'm just happy to be in here with you younger guys running. And I really don't think I've got anything for them, but it'll be fun to try and hang with them for a while there. Just kind of bide my time at first, like everybody's saying, just take it easy first half of the race or so, and then see where we're at.
And obviously tonight was a little bit of a sprint, a 10-lap dash out here. How do you prepare for those long 100-lappers?
I don't know. This will be my first one. This is actually my first charity event with Coast to Coast, and I'm surprised I chose the modifieds to do it in because I'm all about the sprint cars. And so I don't know. It'll be a new experience for me.
Well, Brian, before we let you go here tonight, is there any sponsors you want to thank or shout-outs you want to give?
Not really. Just Young Guns Creations. I give them a shout-out for the reps they give me, and Shaggy, these guys and Coast to Coast Racing. It's really fun playing in this league. I have a good time with these guys. Appreciate it.
Well, Brian, congratulations on a solid run here in the pole dash, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
All right, great. Thanks.
First of all, Sam, were you napping in the 358 pole shuffle or what?
No, mom cooked dinner, so I was over having dinner with her.
There you go. See, Shaggy, we were right. He had more important things to do. So I think I know Sam with the 358s. It's that's your car, and I know starting first or starting sixth, you probably don't care. But we got something here that we got to figure out, all of us together. What do we have to do to catch that 91?
You have to save lots of tires and probably run the bottom the whole time and try to figure the bottom out better than he can, to be honest, because he's pretty quick down there.
You know, we were talking about in the broadcast earlier that if you remember the 802 race, we had the season finale. It was a 100 lapper 358, and Chad won that. And I think, did you finish second in that one too?
I think I might, but I know if I did, he was probably gone.
Yeah, and we were saying how could he do that in a 100 lap race? Tomorrow it's 75 and 358, so that means he could probably go even harder. But you know, we'll give him hell and see what we can do. But how do you feel overall? I mean, how has the track been? I know you like to run outside and inside. The outside seems to be a little tough right now. Do you hope that comes in a little bit to give you another lane to run, or you just happy with the way the track's been and just give and take and do what you need to do?
I mean, yeah, obviously, I mean, you know me, Dean. I hope that high side kind of comes in towards the end so you and I can both run it and hopefully maybe pass Chad or Clay or Anthony or anybody that's going to be up there for the lead. But no, overall the track's been pretty good. But yeah, I just hope that high side comes alive probably the last 20 laps.
Now you're a coast to coast champion. You won a lot of races. You've been fast in Super Dirt Week, but what would it mean to win one or if not two of these races for this big charity event?
Well, it'd be pretty cool to be honest. I mean, Isaac, I know he's been winning them pretty much all instead of I think one. So it's been pretty tough, but I don't think he's gonna be here this week, so it might be a good chance for a new winner. So it'd be pretty cool to win, to be honest.
All right, man. You're having a good week. We'll see you tomorrow, and keep the good ball rolling. And good luck to you tomorrow, my friend.
Thank you, Dean.
Oh, Sam, what do you got to think? I'm new at this. I just know how to look good and drive slow.
I gotta thank all the boys over at FTM. Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, he's really been working hard on the dig.
There you go.
Dean over at Super Dirtcar Series, Expert Installation, Shaggy, you and Marty for doing the broadcasting, and Robert too, and Dean for all helping out. Thank you, and Coast to Coast.
There, I did my job, guys, properly. A little slow, but I got it in.
Good job, Dean.
All right, Sam. Yeah, go have dessert now.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Sam. You know, it's funny. I put up that post there in the Coast to Coast Lounge this morning, and this is one of the guys that, you know, I was asking about because Sam and Trevor and Chad, you know, they didn't have nothing to do last night after the time trials. But Trevor holds up, what'd you hold up, a Pepsi?
When, yesterday?
Yeah, you know, I was
Yeah.
one had to drink, and you're holding up a Pepsi?
Yeah, I didn't have any beers.
Hey, he switched it out tonight though. It looks like he's got an ultra there on the desk.
Yeah, it's an empty one.
There it is. I just saw it. Okay.
Just one tonight. I gotta work in the morning, so I'll behave. I'm not no Scotty, you know.
That's because no one's heard me talk until right now. My apologies.
Shaggy, solid.
I had to blow my nose when you guys
We're
were doing those
professionals.
interviews. But Trevor, man, you know, like I say, Dino asked Sam this question: what do you guys got to do to go hunt down that 91? Because I know obviously 100 laps is going to be a different pace, but dude, that guy's quick right now on the bottom. That's scary.
Yeah, actually, I just had a nice conversation with him, and he said this is one of his favorite tracks. So it's when someone says that and they're already that fast, they're gonna be tough to beat. But I mean, I got a strategy going in. Obviously not gonna speak about it too much, right? Just gonna take my time and let things play out. I'm not gonna, that's kind of why I'm not too upset about starting pole because you don't really I don't want to set the pace. I want to follow the pace. I want to see what other guys are doing, and obviously Chad's gonna be hard to beat. I mean, that's it's we saw that tonight, and but 75 laps, 100 laps, it's it's who knows what's gonna happen. But I mean, you can only hope that you can at least maintain pace with them, and definitely. I mean, my goal going in just hope to be there at the end, and cool trophy would be nice.
Well, I know. So obviously, you got to talk out of both sides of your mouth. I know you want to pace the car, but is there a number in mind, like eighth, maybe 10th, where you want to keep this thing in the top 10? You don't want to float too far back. Is there a number you kind of have in mind, or are you just gonna kind of play it as it goes?
No, there's definitely a number. You pretty much nailed it on the head there. If I fall out of the top 10, I would start probably going into panic mode a little bit. I don't want to be mid pack. I think that's just it's some stuff can happen back there that that can be out of your control, and so I want to kind of keep it in the top 10 would be ideal. Or like 11th or 12th max. I don't want to fall back too much. If I start going outside top 10, it's out of it's not me doing it, but yeah, you pretty much nailed it on the head there, Shaggy. I definitely want to keep it in the top 10, and anything other than that, I'd like I said, probably be getting a little worried, and telling myself probably got to start picking it up here.
Well, hey, man, you did the hard part, brother. You're in both shows, and you're in pretty good starting spots. So definitely going to have to keep your eye on this 075 tomorrow night. But, Trevor, you got a lot of nice sponsors on that thing you probably want to thank before we kick you on out of here.
Yeah, man. Just just happy to be here. Honestly, it's pretty cool to lock yourself into an event like this through qualifying and be part of that top 6. So it's an honor. It's a pretty cool thing. But yeah, just gotta thank everyone on this car, man. It's pretty cool being out here and doing this stuff for charity and representing all the sponsors and the team while doing it. And so obviously shout out to all the guys at Venom at Full Throttle Motorsports. And
Oh, that's okay. They're a good bunch too. We got to thank
yeah,
them.
no,
Yep.
they're a good group of guys, and
Yep.
I saw Butters had a good run, so shout out to Butters. But yeah, all the guys at Full Throttle Motorsports, man, it's like I said in my last interview, I haven't really been here long, and it's been a game changer being over here, man. It's a good group, so shout out to all those guys. Obviously Dean with the Super Dirtcar series, man. It's it's a friendship that I don't want to lose. It's pretty cool having Dean being on the same team as Dean, man. It's he does a lot for us and for the league and stuff. So shout out you, Dean. Shout out all you guys for putting this stuff on, man. It's pretty cool going back and watching this. It's my favorite thing to do. And I know you guys were asking there earlier if I had a light beside me or something. That's my other monitor. I
was right. Yes.
I was snooping, all right. But yeah, just Vertex Graphics, and they keep me looking good on the track. Expert installation, Castleberry Flagstone. And yeah, everyone who puts this stuff on, it's a pretty cool deal. Looking forward to tomorrow now.
Yeah, man. I know Robbie is, and I can tell you for damn sure I am. It's going to be a good one. And man, I know you're Canadian, but you sound American, and you root for an American hockey team. So we might have to claim you for this one since you're on the front row. Go get it tomorrow, brother.
You can't have him. He's ours.
So I got to start saying A more, or
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, see,
All
you
right.
don't say it enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh damn, yeah.
Well, hey, good luck tomorrow, Trevor. We'll be rooting for you, brother.
All right, brother.
Thanks, eh?
There we go. I always think of this Chappelle show when they had the race draft. We should do a nationality draft. We could draft him to America. I think we need.
No, you can't have him. He's ours.
All right. Well, you get to talk to the man of the hour here, Robbie, and he absolutely, what a show he put on tonight.
Oh man, Chad, you dominated all night long. The guys asked the other two in the top 3 what they have to do to beat you tomorrow night. I'm going to ask you that as well. What do those guys have to do to beat you tomorrow night?
Honestly, I think just the outside needs to come in for them. I'm a bottom feeder at this track. It's very rare for me to move my way up to the top unless I'm watching behind me and seeing if everyone else is up there and they're starting to catch me. Obviously, I'm gonna probably slide up, but most likely it'll probably be a bottom feeder for me.
Obviously, you were out front for both of the races you did tonight, and by quite a margin. But did you learn anything out here that you can translate into tomorrow night's feature race?
Not really. honestly, between the big block and the small block, it really did feel the same for me. I could just set the car in there nicely, and it would just hook the bottom and launch me off the corner. Uh, yeah, I honestly, to be really honest, I did not learn as much as I thought I was going to. Just gonna do what I can, and hopefully we could pull off the win.
And we were talking about this earlier with Ricky Maines. Obviously, you're one of those drivers that's going to be doing both features tomorrow night, 175 laps in distance. How do you prepare for an evening like that and make sure that you aren't too fatigued when it comes to the end of that second feature?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it's gonna be a mind game. I'm probably gonna have to take a nap after work tomorrow because I gotta be up at 4 a.m.
Dude, you're half
Oh,
my age. Don't cry. Come on.
oh, come on, Dean. Come on.
God. Cry me a
Yeah.
river, bud. Hey?
Can we? Are we able to take maybe like a quick caution break? We can have a quick nap maybe mid race.
A little lap yellow.
I would enjoy that.
I won't need the nap break. I need the bathroom break.
Yeah, we'll take one of those about halfway.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's just gonna be a mind game. Just gotta stay on top of the wheel. Don't think about how long the race is gonna be. Just focus on driving, nailing my corners, and that's pretty much it.
I do have a question for Chad.
Yeah, go for it, Dean.
Yeah, with the race being 75 laps and 100 laps, there's definitely going to be a minimum of 31 cars starting. There probably could be a couple provisionals and such. Are you going to be? Yeah, well, are you going to be worried about lap traffic as well if we do get that long green flag stint?
Yeah, I will. If we get that long green flag, lap traffic, I will definitely be a little worried about. But hopefully, when I do catch up, there might be a caution thrown. But yeah, we'll just take my time. There's lots of time in the race there to get around them, let them run their line, and pass when I can.
Well, Chad, I'm going to ask you this again. You mentioned it earlier on, but who gets it done for that 91 car?
I got to give a massive shout out again to Dean Reynolds there. He let me pass him in practice.
That was the old guy not holding the bottom, and I actually flipped you off as you went underneath me. Just went
I thought I didn't let off. No, I gotta thank Dean there for sponsoring us. Really just means a lot having us in this league with them. Met a lot of good people here, made a lot of good friendships. I gotta give a shout out to Billings Motorsports, me and Shane again. All this time we put into it, it's paying off. All the guys in Discord, we all have a good laugh there. Dean would know, he's part of it. Gotta give a shout out to Vertex again, hooking me up with a sweet wrap. Of course, my parents, I want to say hello to them, and my uncle who's watching, drinking. Once again, have another one for me. I will be having one here after. But yeah, obviously got to give a massive shout out to you guys there for putting on this event. You guys, this is insane how well this is ran. It's just mind blowing. Of course, the charity we're doing this for, it's a great charity. It's just a pleasure to be running it.
Well, Chad, congratulations on a really strong run here tonight. We look forward to seeing what you have tomorrow night in both features.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, man.
Yep.
Chad Lackey, your pole sitter in both features tomorrow night, guys.
I don't know if that's good news for us or not. I tell you, that's that is amazing what Speedy's doing. And like I said, when I watched him win that 100-lap race, that 358 race, that's got to put us some scare into the competition because, like I said, that was 100 laps. So the first one's 358 to 75. So we know he's going to have speed there. The big block race, we just got to hope that maybe the tires do catch up on him.
Yeah, that's, I mean, obviously that pace, I don't think he's going to be able to hold that for 100 laps. But, man, still, you go maybe, too. You put a couple key guys that are hanging out in the back a lap down early, maybe get that caution. That could be another strategy that the 91 uses. But, guys, before we get out of here, Dino, I don't want to put any pressure on you. You don't have those lineups done yet, do you?
No, I got to get off, and I want to look at the replays as well to make sure, all the stuff was just racing, and I saw Scotty and Bud Maunu talking back and forth on that start there. You know, it was just an unfortunate deal on that, and it was a racing deal. But I got to take a look at that, and then I should have the lineups done probably within the hour. I'll get that done right now. I'm posting the photos of the scrambles right now, the victory lane photos, to tell everyone who's the starting 4 with the 358, since we had 4, and then the starting 6 for the big blocks, and then I'll go and get those lineups done, and we'll have them posted on the Facebook page, and then we'll post them in the internal Discord for Coast to Coast as well.
Well, Dino, we'll ask you before we ask Robbie here, because you're in the race tomorrow. 175 laps. What are your final words, man? How do you close out tonight? What do you tell the other drivers you're racing with tomorrow?
Well, you know, congratulations to everybody that's in the field, and to the people that got to run the LCQs. Just stay focused. Keep an open mind. You still got one more chance, but you know. But again, thanks to everyone for being a part of this event. You know, it's great. And yes, do I want to do well tomorrow? You know, my goal is 2 top 10s. That's going to be my goal, because it isn't my favorite track. If we were at Charlotte, you know, it would be a different goal, because I do like Charlotte, and I think I have a shot at maybe you know, podium there like I did last year. But top 10s is the goal. But you know what? I just so cool to be part of the event. Cool to be part of the behind the scenes. But you know, we can't not thank Jeff Barker enough. I mean, Jeff has done so much work, and Bob DeGood has helped him. And then also Jack Hitt with the donations, and Bill Calder with doing the administrative. Those are the guys that 4 guys besides me that are part of this event. And I know everyone's thanking me on these interviews, but really they've done more than I've done. I've done a lot of the PR and recruiting and stuff like that, but the grunt work and the non-fun work those guys have been doing. So we got to thank them. And then you know, it's going to be an awesome show tomorrow. We're going to have 2 really wild LCQs, and then 175 laps of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be fun. Robbie, you excited about tomorrow, man? I'll tell you what, we've been lucky to have you here, dude. You do amazing work, and I know the people out there watching, man, they really notice the professionalism in the job you do.
Man, we have had a solid 2 days of qualifiers here, setting the stage for tomorrow night. 175 laps. Those drivers definitely going to need to prepare physically and mentally, because it's going to be draining out there, especially the guys running both features, which is honestly most of the field, with how strong these guys are. And it's just been a heck of a good time so far. Can't wait for tomorrow. Like Dino mentioned, 2 solid LCQs, which are so packed with talent, and we're only taking 1 from each of those. It's going to be sad to send somebody home, but I just can't wait to call those tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep it short and sweet here and be perfectly honest with you. I was doing this broadcast under the scenes that I did with Dino's League, okay? So I messed up. I don't have the coast-to-coast credits on this group of scenes, so when I'm done talking, you're just going to see it wrap up real quick. But I'll tell you what, we're lucky to have such a good group of people here tonight. At one point, we had 60-some people watching just for the qualifier, so it is going to be good. I expect in the hundreds tomorrow. It is going to be a showdown. 175 laps here at Oswego. Make sure you tune in. Dino, what? We're kicking off everything, I want to say, 7:30, right, for the LCQs?
Yeah, we're moving it back a little bit because of you and Marty with your schedules. You know, you want to do it, and but you got some things you got to do to get in. So, you know, I don't know if Robert will be flying solo, but I think the first LCQ is going to go up at 7:15, and then I think we go green at 7:30, and you know, we do the 2 LCQs first, and then we'll get together and do the driver intro, which was going to be really cool, and then we'll load right into the 358 feature. What time that exactly starts, not sure, but you know what? You guys have said it. The viewers, you need to watch these LCQs, because there's going to be. I'm trying to figure out how many cars are going to be in there. I mean, it's going to be in the teens in both races, and it's winner take all.
And you know the scariest thing? We know who could be in those LCQs. I don't want to speak his name. He's like Voldemort. But if Isaac Salas shows up, you know he could take both those from the back row.
Anyone that paid their entry can start the LCQ. So, I mean, the lineups are going to have all the guys that haven't gridded, like Isaac or Ross Carenta. They're more than welcome to run it. They will be pre-gridded in the pre-grid lineup. And then, as you saw, when the server opens up, then the lineup adjusts. And I think that's what's happening with Sim Racing X there on you, Shaggy, is probably the little snafu with that. But, yes, Isaac Salas can come on in tomorrow, start dead last in those LCQs, and put a show on for us.
Yeah, so you heard him. They're going to get ready. The sessions will open up 7:15, so we'll probably have the broadcast up, right before 7:30, something like that. But man, make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss it. Tomorrow night, Super Dirt Week finale here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But on behalf of my partners, Dean Reynolds, Robert Hill, I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying so long and have a good evening.